The Costco Deli section has over 24 items, but only a few are actually worth your money. The rest are traps. Some items look beautiful through the glass display case but will leave you filled with regret once you get them home. On the flip side, there are items that, if you knew their price compared to a restaurant, would make you wonder why you didn't buy them sooner. Today, I'm going to share the top items worth buying, as well as the ones you need to stay far away from. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Chicken pot pie. We're talking nearly 6 pounds of food in one tray for just $20. You bring it home, pop it in the oven for about an hour, and when you open that oven door, your entire kitchen is filled with a rich, buttery aroma from corner to corner. The top crust bakes up golden brown, thick, and flaky, giving you a distinct, satisfying crunch when you cut into it. Inside is a velvety, creamy filling loaded with shredded chicken, peas, and carrots. The filling-to-crust ratio is incredibly generous. This isn't one of those pies that's all dough with nothing inside when you cut it open. To give you some numbers for comparison, a single-serve personal pot pie at Panera Bread or any decent bakery already runs you $12 to $15, and it's just enough to fill up one person. This Costco tray easily feeds 4 to 5 people, which breaks down to less than $4 per serving. You are paying less than the price of fast food for a proper, sit-down family dinner. This item isn't anything fancy or complicated. It's just good comfort food. Warm, cozy, and familiar, like something your grandma would make on a winter day if she had all afternoon to spend in the kitchen. When you're standing at the display case choosing your tray, take a close look at the dough around the edges. Pick a tray where the crust is evenly crimped all around, without any collapsing or large cracks in the middle. The reason is that during baking, a sealed crust traps the steam inside, keeping the filling smooth and creamy. Trays with pre-cracked crusts tend to dry out the filling while baking, and you'll end up wondering why you bought the exact same item but it didn't taste as good as last time. If you've ever eaten ribs at Texas Roadhouse and sighed at the bill, Costco has the answer for that, and it's nearly half the price. 2. BBQ pork back ribs. If you've ever sat at Texas Roadhouse or Applebee's, ordered a full rack of ribs and stared at a $30 bill before tax and tip, you'll understand why this tray of ribs at Costco keeps people coming back over and over again. The price fluctuates between $17 and $19 depending on the weight of the rack, and what you get is a rack of pork ribs that has been slow-cooked to the perfect level of tenderness, where the meat clings just enough to the bone and pulls away cleanly with a gentle bite without being dry or mushy. The BBQ sauce glaze on the outside has a sweetness from brown sugar combined with a slight tang from apple cider vinegar, and a distinct smoky flavor that penetrates deep into the meat fibers, rather than just sitting on the surface. Compared to paying over $30 for the exact same full rack at a restaurant, you are saving nearly half your money and getting enough to comfortably feed 3 people. Reheating it at home is also incredibly simple. Wrap it tightly in aluminum foil, bake it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. Then for the last 3 minutes, open up the foil, brush a little extra sauce from the tray onto the surface, and turn on the broiler to get the edges slightly charred. One thing to keep in mind is that these are priced by the pound, so every tray will vary slightly. When standing in front of the shelf, pick up a few trays and choose the heaviest one within your acceptable price range, because that extra weight is actual meat, not sauce or packaging. 3. Chili con carne with shredded beef. It's $11 for a large tub, and from the outside, it doesn't look like anything special. Just a simple plastic tub with a reddish-brown chili inside that has no gloss or shine to it. But once you open it, it's a completely different story. The amount of shredded beef in here is double what you get in those canned chilies you buy at Walmart or Target. It's actual pieces of meat, not a crumbly, mushy texture, and it's not watered down. The beans are slow-cooked until soft but still hold their shape, all in a rich tomato base with a warm hint of spice and a subtle smoky finish. This is real chili, not the kind where you open the can and find mostly liquid with a few lonely pieces of meat swimming around inside. You can absolutely eat it straight as a thick bowl of soup for a quick dinner, and it's delicious. Scoop a big spoonful and ladle it over a hot-baked potato, and it's even better. On a Sunday afternoon when the family is sitting down to watch football, bring this out with some tortilla chips and a bowl of shredded cheddar cheese, and it becomes the perfect snack without requiring any extra cooking. For an $11 tub that can be spun into 3 or 4 different meals throughout the week, It's hard to beat that value-to-utility ratio. To elevate the flavor, try sprinkling a pinch of finely shredded cheddar cheese and a dollop of sour cream on top, right when the cheese is just starting to soften but hasn't completely melted yet. The difference between eating chili with toppings versus without toppings is much bigger than you think. It turns an $11 ready-to-eat item into something guests will ask if you made from scratch. The next item on the list is something I want you to know about before you spend $18 on it. 4. Chicken Alfredo. This pasta tray looks very appealing through the deli display glass. Thick fettuccine noodles, a heavy layer of white sauce, and large slices of grilled chicken placed right on top. $18 for a take-home Italian dinner sounds reasonable, but the problem starts by the time you hit your third bite. The cream sauce starts to feel heavy and cloying very quickly. It's not the natural richness of butter and cheese, but rather the heavy, flat texture of an industrial sauce formulated to keep the dish from separating while sitting in a display case all day long. As for the chicken, it's dry, crumbly, and completely disconnected from the pasta. When you eat it, it feels like you're chewing two separate dishes instead of a cohesive plate of Alfredo. At an $18 price point, you absolutely have the right to expect better than that. And here is the most important part. For that exact same $18, you could buy the $20 chicken pot pie tray that feeds the whole family or the $11 chili tub and have $7 left over for something else. Even the BBQ ribs in the same price range vastly outperform it in quality. Not every item in the deli section is worth the same amount of money, and the chicken Alfredo is the clearest example of that. Your $18 deserves to be spent on something better, and the Costco Deli has plenty of superior options right next to this pasta tray. Next up is a side dish that many people buy and finish before they even touch the main course, simply because it's so smooth and fragrant that it's hard to stop eating. 5. Mashed potatoes. If you've ever made mashed potatoes from scratch at home, you know how time-consuming it is. Peeling, boiling, mashing, passing it through a mesh strainer to get rid of all the lumps, and then whipping it with butter and milk until smooth. That entire process takes at least an hour, and the results can vary by the day. Some batches come out smooth, while others stay lumpy. The mashed potato tray at the Costco Deli is $12, and it's ready to go the moment you open the lid. The surface is velvety with a slight sheen, showing a natural creamy yellow color rather than the stark white of boxed potato flakes. The texture is smooth but still maintains the right amount of thickness, with a distinct aroma of butter and milk that isn't cloying or overly salty. This is the kind of mashed potatoes that holds its shape when you scoop it onto a plate, instead of running all over the place like those instant mashed potatoes sold in boxes. At $12 for a large tray, it stretches across multiple meals. It goes beautifully with the BBQ ribs mentioned earlier, pairs perfectly with Costco's rotisserie chicken, or can be used as the top layer for a family shepherd's pie over the weekend. It's versatile in a way that means it never goes to waste in the fridge because you can always find a use for it. When you factor in the labor it takes to make a batch of mashed potatoes at home, with this exact level of smoothness, $12 is actually a very reasonable price. You are paying for the hour of kitchen time you didn't have to spend, and the results are consistent every single time you buy it, rather than a hit-or-miss gamble at home. 6. Meatloaf. Meatloaf is an item that many people walk right past and ignore, because the name is just too familiar. Everyone knows what meatloaf is, everyone has eaten it, and because of that, nobody expects much when they see it sitting in the deli case. But Costco's version is worth stopping to take a closer look. The loaf is dense and firm, not dry or crumbly, thanks to just the right amount of breadcrumbs inside to lock in the moisture. The tomato glaze layered on top is thick, glossy, and slightly sweet in that traditional American style. When you reheat it, it caramelizes lightly and gives off a very distinct, appetizing aroma. It's $15 and comes right with mashed potatoes in the exact same tray, meaning you bring it home, pop it in the oven, and have a complete dinner ready with zero extra prep. You don't have to take a gamble on a new dish that some family members might like while others don't, nor do you need to calculate what sides to pair with it because the mashed potatoes are already right there in the tray. You bring it home, put it in the oven, slice it onto plates, and the whole family sits down to eat without anyone having to ask, "What's for dinner?" anymore. If you want to take it up a notch, before putting it in the oven to reheat, brush a thin layer of smoky BBQ sauce onto the surface instead of just relying on the built-in tomato glaze. Once baked, The two layers of sauce overlapping create a very deep, sweet, savory, and smoky flavor that you just can't get with the original glaze alone. You know that feeling when guests are coming over and you didn't have time to prepare anything? The Costco Deli has one thing that you just need to peel the lid off of, and anyone looking at it will think you prepped it the day before. 7. Shrimp Cocktail. The shrimp cocktail tray is one of the few items in the deli section where you literally don't have to do a single thing. No baking, no reheating, no prep. Open the lid, set it on the table, and you're done. And what your guests see is a large tray of shrimp arranged in a perfectly neat uniform circle with a cup of cocktail sauce right in the center, looking as premium and tidy as if you ordered it from a restaurant. The shrimp are large, uniform in size, cleanly peeled, and boiled just to the right point so the meat still maintains its firm texture, a slight snap, and a very distinct, natural sweetness. They aren't mushy or mealy like the mass-produced boiled shrimp you usually encounter in those frozen trays in the freezer section. The included cocktail sauce has a sharp, slightly pungent horseradish kick, tanginess from lemon, and a rich tomato base, strong enough to balance the sweetness of the shrimp without overpowering it. At $18 for a tray, it might not sound cheap compared to the other items on today's list, but if you were to order a similar shrimp cocktail tray from a seafood restaurant or a catering service, the price starts at $35 and up, not even counting the delivery fee. Costco gives you that exact same quality at half the price, ready to take home with no waiting around. At a party where the table is filled entirely with grilled meats and potatoes, this cold shrimp tray is the item people will keep coming back to grab more of the most. It's light on the stomach, refreshing, and can be eaten continuously without feeling heavy, and it turns a casual backyard BBQ into a party that feels a whole lot higher class without costing you much extra effort. There is one more trap at the deli section that, if I don't tell you about, you could very easily fall into. 8. Chicken enchiladas. This is the second item on today's list that I recommend leaving on the shelf. And to be completely honest, it looks delicious through the glass display case. The rolled tortillas are arranged neatly, evenly covered in red sauce, and topped with a sprinkle of cheese, looking exactly like the standard enchiladas you'd see at a Mexican restaurant. The problem is that all that beauty falls apart once you bring it home and pop it in the oven. The corn tortilla shells have been soaking in that red sauce for too many hours in the refrigerated display case, so they are completely waterlogged and mushy. When you reheat it, the rising steam turns the entire outer shell into a pasty, sticky dough mixture, and the moment you use a spatula to scoop it onto a plate, it falls apart instantly. There is no rolled enchilada shape left, just a sloppy pile on your plate. The chicken filling inside isn't any better, because it goes through 2 rounds of heat, first when Costco prepares it and second when you reheat it at home. The meat is stripped of all moisture, turning out dry with a salty aftertaste from the accumulated sodium in the industrial sauce. Eating it feels dry in your throat, rather than the soft, juicy, and moist enchiladas you would expect. Nearly $18 for that experience is just not worth it. For that same budget, you can buy the $15 meatloaf tray that comes right with mashed potatoes, which is tastier, more solid, and carries zero risk of falling apart when scooped onto a plate. Or you could use that $18 to buy 2 $11 chili tubs and still have money left over. The enchiladas at the Costco Deli are one of those items where the gap between what you see in the case and what you actually eat on your plate is the widest. 9. Stuffed bell peppers. A rare item in the deli section where you look at the ingredients and find absolutely nothing to worry about. No heavy cream sauces, no overflowing melted cheese, no crispy battered coating wrapped around the outside. It is simply large bell peppers tightly stuffed with ground beef mixed with rice, tomato sauce, and seasonings. Just bake it, and you're done. During baking, the bell peppers soften up but still retain their natural, clean sweetness, and that sweetness balances the meat filling inside very well, so it doesn't feel heavy even if you eat the whole pepper. Each bell pepper is a complete meal on its own, with no need for extra sides and no need to calculate how much to portion out for each person. 4 peppers in a tray, 4 servings, straightforward. For anyone trying to eat a bit lighter, with less grease, or simply wanting a weeknight dinner that won't weigh down their stomach, this is the best choice in the deli section. The flavor is clean and easy to eat, making it suitable for both seniors and young children because there is nothing too heavy or too spicy inside. The only downside is that the price is based on weight, so it can fluctuate. And compared to other items on today's list, it is not the cheapest option. But if you put health value ahead of the price tag, this is one of the few items at the Costco Deli that you can finish eating with absolutely zero guilt. How much are you spending on lunch every day? Multiply that number by 5 days, then multiply it again by 4 weeks, and you'll understand why I want you to look at this part. 10. Chicken croissant sandwiches. Do the math. A chicken sandwich at Panera Bread runs you $8 to $10. It's about the same at Starbucks. This Costco tray gives you 5 large croissant sandwiches along with a Caesar salad, all for a total of $16. That breaks down to less than $3.50 per serving. You are paying a third of the Panera price for quality that is just as good. The croissant crust is thin and flaky on the outside, light and soft on the inside, with a clear, buttery aroma. The shredded chicken filling is tossed with just enough mayo to keep it moist, without being soggy or leaking water all over the pastry shell. The accompanying Caesar salad is fresh and crisp, complete with shredded cheese, enough to balance out the meal so it doesn't feel heavy on pure carbs. No reheating required. Open the lid, take them out, and eat immediately. Take it to work, toss it in the office fridge, and when lunchtime comes, you're good to go. Or on weekends when the family wants a quick lunch and nobody wants to cook, everyone grabs a sandwich, sits down at the table for 5 minutes, and then goes back to whatever they were doing. Plus, it's not heavy on the stomach. You finish eating and still stay alert enough to keep working through the afternoon, rather than the kind of meal that makes you want to lie down and crash. 11. Gyro box. If you've ever eaten gyros at a Greek restaurant, you know an individual portion there costs $12 to $15, not including tip. This Costco tray gives you enough ingredients to roll at least 5 or 6 servings for $17. And what you get isn't a pre-mixed mess in a tray, but rather each ingredient neatly separated. The thinly sliced lamb seasoned with Mediterranean spices is on one side. Soft pita bread is on another. Fresh vegetables, including tomatoes, onions, and lettuce, are on one side. And tzatziki sauce made from yogurt, cucumber, and garlic is on another. Because the ingredients are separated, you easily have control over everything. If you want more meat and fewer vegetables, you adjust it yourself. If you want less sauce because you're cutting back on dairy, you scale it down. Nobody forces you to eat according to a predetermined ratio that Costco decided for you, and that is completely different from other ready-to-eat trays, where everything is mixed together and cannot be separated. You only need to do one thing before eating. Quickly sear the lamb in a pan over high heat for about 2 minutes per side to wake up the aroma, and get the edges slightly charred while warming up the pita bread in the microwave or on a dry pan for 15 seconds. Those 2 steps turn a $17 ready-to-eat tray into a meal that, when brought to the table, nobody would ever guess came from Costco. On the weekend, if someone drops by unexpectedly and you need something to set out on the table in 30 seconds that still looks decent, this section is for you. 12. Fruit and cheese tray. You spend $15 on a tray where you don't need to do anything except peel off the lid and place it on the table. Crisp grapes, strawberries, and pineapples are arranged right next to cubed cheeses, ranging from soft, rich, and creamy types to semi-hard, slightly salty ones, and everything is already pre-arranged in the tray looking neat and beautiful. The fruit is fresh, with no bruising or leaking juice, while the cheese belongs to a higher tier compared to what you would expect at a $15 price point. This tray is not a main course, and it shouldn't be treated as one. It's the kind of thing you place in the middle of the table on a Sunday afternoon when the family is sitting out in the yard. Anyone who's hungry picks up a piece, and anyone drinking wine sips it along with a piece of cheese, with no need for portioning and no pressure to finish it all. It creates that relaxed vibe you usually only see at parties with hired catering services, but in reality, it only took you 30 seconds to open the lid. And if guests drop by over the weekend and you didn't have time to prepare anything, this tray saves you instantly. For just $15, getting fresh fruit, great cheese, a beautiful pre-presentation, and not having to run to 3 or 4 different stores to buy each item then come home to arrange it on a plate yourself is completely worth it. And the final item. This is what Costco shoppers call a legend. Not because it's new, but because nobody has been able to find anything that can replace it after all these years. 13. Cheesecake. If the Costco Deli section has one dessert that everyone knows, everyone has heard of, and almost everyone who buys it once comes back to buy again, it's this cheesecake. It is so famous that people call it a Costco legend, and once you try it, you'll understand why that title is not an exaggeration at all. If you've ever bought a cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory, you know the price fluctuates starting from $50 depending on the flavor. This one at Costco is $23, and calling it size giant would not be an understatement, while the quality comes incredibly close to the double price tag you're paying elsewhere. The surface of the cake is smooth, with no cracking and no uneven bumps. The crust is thick and firm. When you slice it, it holds its shape perfectly instead of crumbling all over the plate. The cream cheese layer on top is dense and velvety, with that signature rich flavor blended with a very pleasant subtle tang. And the sweetness is just gentle enough without being cloying or overpowering the cheese flavor. And the best way to enjoy it that I've found is to place a slice on a plate next to a cup of hot black coffee or Earl Grey tea in the afternoon. You are sitting in your own home, comfortable in your loungewear, with a $23 cake that's big enough to yield over a dozen slices. With this size, it comfortably serves any occasion from birthdays to family gatherings, holidays, or simply a Friday night when you want to treat yourself after a long week. If you can't finish it all, just slice it up, wrap each piece individually, and pop them into the freezer. Whenever you want to eat, just move a slice to the fridge for a few hours, and it softens right back up to nearly brand new. You don't need to memorize everything, and you don't need to buy everything in one trip. But the next time you're standing in front of the deli case unsure of what to choose, open this video and watch it again. It will save you a lot more than you think.
I financially black out inside Costco.
Every time there's a sale at Costco, most people just look at the price tag and throw the item into their cart without flipping it over to read the ingredients on the back. That is a mistake, because a cheap price doesn't mean it's a good deal, and an organic label doesn't mean it's clean. Today, I'm going through these products to tell you straight up which items are worth buying and the 3 items you need to stay far away from, even though the prices look very attractive right now. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One, Kirkland New Zealand butter. The Kirkland signature yellow label butter is currently on sale, dropping from $9.49 down to $6.99 for a 4-stick pack. That breaks down to less than $1.75 per stick. And this isn't regular butter, it's organic grass-fed butter from New Zealand that is certified USDA organic. If you've ever bought organic butter at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, you know that just a single stick can run you $4 to $5. Here, you are buying 4 sticks for less than the price of 1 stick elsewhere. It sounds like a regular sale, but in reality, this is the lowest price this specific butter line has ever hit at Costco. And once you understand what you are getting for under $7, you'll want to buy more than just 1 box. First of all, this is a certified USDA organic butter, meaning it is 100% organic, according to the standards of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Cows in New Zealand are pastured outdoors year-round, rather than being locked in barns eating industrial grain, so the milk contains no antibiotics, no growth hormones, and no chemical residues. Because of this, the moment you cut it open, you will see a very distinct deep lemon yellow color that comes from the beta-carotene compounds in the fresh grass the cows eat. It is absolutely not artificial food coloring. It is completely natural. What's even more important is what is inside. Grass-fed butter has significantly higher levels of omega-3s and CLA compared to grain-fed butter, both of which are good for heart health and support anti-inflammation in the body. That is something cheap industrial butter at regular supermarkets cannot offer, no matter what brand you buy. And if you bake often, this is the part you need to hear. This New Zealand butter has a low water content and a high butterfat content that meets strict European standards, meaning when you use it for baking, your pastry crust will turn out noticeably flakier, crispier, and more fragrant compared to using regular butter. Under $7 for 4 sticks of organic, grass-fed butter with no hormones, no antibiotics, and high butter fat. Nobody knows when Costco will run this deal again, and it is currently at its lowest price ever. If you use butter on a daily basis, this is the time to stock up and throw it in the freezer. And there are some deals at Costco where just buying a few bags will completely win back the cost of your membership card. The bag of chips I'm about to talk about is one of them. Dos. Siete tortilla chips. If you've ever bought Siete chips at Whole Foods or other organic markets, you know what the regular price is. It's over 90 cents an ounce, which means a small bag already costs you $5 to $6. At Costco this week, the extra large bag is discounted by an additional $2.40, bringing it down to just 30 cents an ounce. That is 3 times cheaper for the exact same product, the exact same ingredients, and the exact same bag. And this isn't the cheap kind of chip fried in soybean oil and then coated in artificial seasoning powder. Siete makes theirs from cassava flour, avocado oil, chia seeds, and sea salt. Completely grain-free inside, so it's perfect for anyone eating grain-free paleo or simply wanting to stay far away from those industrial chips full of ingredients that are hard to pronounce. At a price point of 30 cents an ounce for the extra large bag, just buying 3 or 4 bags to stock up will almost completely pay back your Costco membership fee. On shopping apps and Costco groups, every time Siete goes on sale, people push their carts in just to hoard these chips, and nobody can blame them because the price gap between buying it here and buying it elsewhere is so massive that passing it up would truly be a waste. However, not every deal with a good price is worth buying. And the bottle of tomato sauce I'm about to mention is the clearest example of that, because what you don't know is hiding on the back of the label. 3. Rao's Homemade Tomato Sauce. Rao's is a tomato sauce brand that a lot of people trust because of its name and great taste. And this time, Costco is selling a 2-jar pack for $9.69, which sounds very attractive. But before you throw it into your shopping cart, flip the jar over and read the ingredients on the back. The olive oil listed on the label sounds good, but this is not pure extra virgin olive oil. Rao's uses olive oil that has been refined using high heat and high pressure, and that process destroys most of the beneficial nutrients in olive oil, turning it into a type of oil that easily causes inflammation in the body when consumed regularly. You are paying for the Rao's name, thinking you are buying a premium product, but in reality, the ingredients inside are not as good as the name suggests. And here is the most important part. Right on the very same sauce shelf, next to Rao's, sits the Paisana brand. Fewer people know about it, and it doesn't advertise heavily, but when you flip it over to read the ingredients, it uses real extra virgin olive oil, and the ingredients are noticeably cleaner. The price isn't much different either. 4. Titan grass-fed beef sausages. When you flip over most sausages sold at the supermarket to read the ingredients, you'll find that besides meat, there are sugar, artificial flavorings, preservatives, and a long list of names you have no idea what they are. Titan grass-fed is completely different. The ingredients consist only of 100% grass-fed beef and spices, no sugar, no flavorings, and nothing to question or worry about when reading the label. It's currently discounted by $4, bringing it down to about $6.21 a pound for grass-fed beef sausages. Try finding a similar product at Whole Foods or organic markets, and the price will start from $9 to $11 a pound. Here, you are saving nearly 40% while the ingredient quality is equal or better. High in protein and nearly zero carbs, it is a perfect fit for anyone eating keto or paleo, or simply wanting to cut back on sugar and carbs in their daily meals. But what surprises many people the most is that when pan-seared or grilled on a grate, Titan sausages do not leak a layer of cloudy yellow grease like the industrial sausages you typically encounter. On Reddit, housewives have given very positive feedback about this product, and Titan Grass-Fed is currently one of the fastest-selling names in the Costco refrigerated section. If anyone in your house works out or is simply concerned about muscle and brain health, this is a deal you don't want to miss. 5. Micronized creatine powder. $15. 135 servings. That breaks down to just over 10 cents per use. If you are currently buying creatine at GNC or on Amazon, you are paying 2 to 3 times more for the exact same thing, and that is a truth that nobody at those stores wants you to know. Creatine isn't just for heavy gym goers. Recent research shows that it also supports brain health and maintains muscle mass in middle-aged and older adults, 2 things that the body begins to gradually lose after age 40, if not supported. So even if you don't work out every day, creatine still holds value for overall health. The powder is ground ultra-fine into a micronized form, And this is important because old generation raw creatine often leaves a gritty residue at the bottom of the cup and causes bloating when consumed. The micronized form is different. In Costco groups, people tested it by dropping a scoop into a cup of cold water, and it dissolved almost instantly with no residue. It absorbs better, and it's significantly easier on the stomach. This isn't the highest-end Creapure line on the market, but at $15 for 135 servings, there is absolutely nothing to complain about. You are buying over 4 months of supply for a price that would only buy a 1-month supply elsewhere. However, the case of the whey protein bag right next to it is the exact opposite. 6. Whey protein powder. Right after talking about a supplement worth buying, right next to it on the shelf is a bag of whey protein that anyone looking at the price would want to throw into their cart. It's $39 for 62 servings, which breaks down to less than 65 cents per use, significantly cheaper than any whey brand you'd find at GNC or on Amazon. But a cheap price doesn't mean it's a good deal, and this bag of whey is the clearest example of that. The whey source here comes from GMO cows, not grass-fed cows. And the vanilla flavor that you taste when you mix it up doesn't come from real vanilla bean, but rather from artificial flavorings. Those two things alone are enough to make you stop and question it, especially since this is something you put directly into your body every single day, not just something you use once in a while. With supplements, the rule is very simple. What you save on the purchase price, you might be paying back with your health in the long run. Whey from grass-fed, non-GM. Cows with natural vanilla flavor will cost more, and that's a fact. But that is also what is worth paying extra for when you drink it on a daily basis. 7. Unreal diet bars. If you used to like Mounds candy but gave it up because reading the ingredients showed nothing but sugar and artificial flavorings, Unreal bars are exactly what you've been looking for without knowing it. The large bag at Costco costs less than $9, and inside are small bars made with organic coconut, dark chocolate, real vanilla, and sweetener from cassava syrup instead of refined sugar. Each bar contains only 3 grams of sugar, and the ingredients fit perfectly into a paleo diet. What surprises many people is its sweetness. Cassava syrup provides a very smooth and clean sweetness, not harsh on the tip of the tongue like artificial sugars, but spreading evenly and finishing clean. When you finish eating, you don't feel that cloying, sugary aftertaste lingering in your mouth like when you eat regular candy. The dark chocolate coating on the outside is just bitter enough to balance the coconut inside, and the alternating crispy and soft textures make it very difficult to stop at just one bar. This is the kind of snack you keep ready in your desk drawer, in your purse, or in your car console so that when you get hungry midday, you have something to eat right away without having to run to the store to buy sugary snacks. For anyone trying to cut down on sugar in their daily diet, 3 grams of sugar per bar and completely clean ingredients are things you don't easily find at a price point under $9 for an entire large bag. But right next to it on the shelf is a product with the word organic, written huge on the packaging. But when you flip it over to read it, it's a different story. And it's currently discounted by $4, so a lot of people are hoarding it for their kids without knowing. 8. Organic fruit bars for kids. Currently discounted by $4, the packaging has organic printed very large, along with beautiful pictures of fresh fruit, and the product name sounds completely healthy. Looking at that, any parent would want to grab a few boxes for their kids, especially since the price is a steal. But before throwing it into your shopping cart, flip the box over and read the ingredients on the back. In the ingredient list, there is a phrase that you need to be wary of every time you see it appear on any product, and that is natural flavors. But in reality, this is one of the most common traps in the food industry. Natural flavors can include dozens of synthetic chemicals that the manufacturer is not required to list in detail. Just grouping them under that common name is enough to get past the buyer. When a product states organic on the packaging but inside contains flavorings that you don't know exactly what they are, that organic label loses most of its meaning. And when this is food for children, something you want to be as clean as possible, having such a vague ingredient is something that shouldn't be accepted no matter how cheap the price is. Instead, you should look for Bear Roll-Ups or That's It, 2 brands where the ingredients consist purely of fruit and nothing else. They are not part of this sale, so the price will be a bit higher. But when buying food for your kids, clean ingredients are more important than saving a few dollars. Moving back to items worth buying, And if you are drinking apple cider vinegar every morning, this next part will let you know which bottle is the absolute most worth buying at Costco this week. 9. Madre Labs Organic Apple Cider Vinegar. A lot of apple cider vinegar brands on the market today filter their product heavily, just so the bottle looks clean and clear on the shelf. The problem is that this filtration process removes the most valuable part of apple cider vinegar, which is the natural strands of friendly bacteria that people call the mother. You buy that crystal clear bottle of apple cider vinegar to drink every morning thinking you are taking care of your health. But in reality, you are drinking a bottle of vinegar that has been stripped of its gut. Madre Labs at Costco this week is discounted by $3.50 for a 3-pack of large bottles. And when you flip it over to read the label, the words, "with the mother," are right there on the packaging. The vinegar is unfiltered and unpasteurized, keeping that raw culture of friendly bacteria intact inside. The ingredients are 100% organic apples with no added water and no preservatives. The benefits of raw apple cider vinegar with live cultures for the digestive system and blood sugar stabilization are well known to many people. But what many don't know is that most cheap apple cider vinegar at regular supermarkets has already had that culture removed. A 3-bottle pack with a $3.50 discount breaks down to significantly cheaper than buying individual bottles at Whole Foods or Sprouts. If you are using apple cider vinegar on a daily basis, this is the time to buy a pack to stock up, because this deal isn't around all the time, and 3 bottles will last you quite a while. 10. Sports Research Vitamin D 3 plus K2. This is one of those rare products where the in-warehouse price is nearly $3 cheaper than the discounted price on Costco's own website. It's $23.99 for 160 soft gels if you buy it directly at the warehouse, whereas online it is selling for $26.99 even after the discount. Many people think that during the sunny summer months, there's no need to supplement with vitamin D3. But the reality is that most adults nowadays hide in air-conditioned rooms all day and put on thick layers of sunscreen whenever they go outside. Both of these habits block the body from synthesizing its own D3 from sunlight. So even in the middle of summer, the D3 levels in your body can still be deficient without you even knowing it. But the great thing about this bottle isn't just the D3, it's that it comes paired with K2. D3 helps the body absorb calcium, but K2 is the actual guide that directs calcium into your bones instead of letting it deposit in blood vessel walls, which causes plaque buildup. Taking D3 without K2 means you are only doing half the job right. Sports Research uses an organic coconut oil base for the soft gels instead of animal fat. And that is a huge plus for the digestive system, especially for middle-aged adults and seniors, since the stomach at this age no longer processes animal fats as well as it used to. From supplementing the inside to taking care of the outside. This next product is currently discounted by $5. And if you know how to use it correctly, it can replace a few trips to the ENT doctor every year. 11. NeilMed Sinus Rinse Kit. If you've never used a saline sinus rinse before, it might sound a bit strange, but ask any ear, nose, and throat/ENT doctor, and they will tell you this is one of the simplest and most effective ways to prevent sinus infections and seasonal allergies, and keep your nasal cavities clean without using medication. NeilMed is the #1 brand in this field, and this time Costco is offering a $5 discount on a very complete kit. You get 2 specialized plastic rinse bottles along with 250 pre-mixed saline packets, and it even comes with a free, convenient small mist spray bottle to take with you when traveling. 250 saline packets mean you have nearly a year's supply if you rinse your sinuses every day. And with the $5 off deal, it breaks down to just a few cents per rinse. When the seasons change, that's when sinus infections and allergies flare up the most. And most people deal with it by taking antihistamines or going to see a doctor. A single ENT doctor visit costs $100 to $200 if you don't have good insurance, and allergy medications only relieve the symptoms rather than addressing the root cause. Rinsing your sinuses with saline water every day helps flush out pollen, dirt, and bacteria directly from the nasal cavities before they have a chance to cause inflammation. The hair care category is also featured in this round of deals at Costco. And if you are spending $50 to $80 a month going to the salon, this next section will make you recalculate. 12. Shark Flex Style. If you are spending $50 to $80 every month going to the hair salon for a blowout or straightening, let's do some quick math. Dividing the $279 retail price for the Shark Flex style by that $50 monthly salon bill means you will break even after just 5 or 6 months. This current $100 off deal at Costco pushes that break-even point even faster, and the Shark Flex style is a product that is normally very rarely discounted this deeply. The tool integrates 3 functions in one: drying, curling, and straightening, all using Kawanda airflow technology instead of applying direct heat onto the hair. That means your hair locks into place naturally without being burned dry or damaged, like it would when using traditional heated curling irons. Additionally, when you buy at Costco, you are protected by their famous return policy, so the risk is virtually zero. If you try it out and it's not a good fit, you just bring it back, and no one will give you a hard time. But based on user feedback, most people buy it and don't return it, because when you calculate the money saved from not going to the hair salon every month, that $279 is an investment rather than an expense. 13. KitchenAid Stand Mixer. A $100 discount on a KitchenAid at Costco doesn't happen often, and when it does, this is the time to buy, not the time to think about it. The version sold at Costco is the bowl lift model, meaning the bowl is raised by a lever instead of tilting the mixer head back, making it significantly sturdier and more stable when mixing heavy doughs. And the feature that only Costco gives you is the included Flex Edge Beater for free, the kind with a rubber wiper running along the edge that helps scrape the sides of the bowl clean while mixing, so you don't have to stop the machine and scrape it by hand with a spatula. If you often bake, need pizza dough, or whipped cream at home, a KitchenAid is something that, once bought, you will use for 10 to 15 years. It's not an appliance you buy just to leave tucked away in a corner. It's something that sits right on your countertop and gets used weekly. With this current $100 off deal, if you are on the fence, this is the best price you will see at Costco for a long time. And the final item on today's list isn't an appliance. It's not a supplement, but it's something that the moment you crack it open and pour a glass, your entire dinner table instantly steps up a notch. 14. S. Pellegrino Sparkling Mineral Water. Under $19 for a case of 15 sparkling mineral water bottles imported from Italy, packaged in glass bottles rather than plastic. It sounds simple, but this is something that when you pour it into a glass and set it on the dinner table, the whole meal looks different. No need for candles, no need for linen tablecloths. Just placing a bottle of S. Pellegrino in the middle of the table immediately makes a homemade dinner feel more upscale. It pairs beautifully with an espresso after a meal, as the light mineral profile and fine carbonation cleanse your palate between courses. Or you can simply pour a glass to drink instead of soda, replacing a can of sugar with natural mineral water that has 0 calories, 0 sugar, and no additives. Glass bottles hold carbonation better than aluminum cans or plastic bottles, and when laid out on a party table, it looks significantly classier than any other type of bottled water. It breaks down to just over $1 a bottle for Italian mineral water in a glass bottle. For this exact same brand at a restaurant, you'd pay $5 to $8 a bottle. And at smaller convenience markets, it's also $2 to $3 each. Costco gives you the absolute best price you can find for S. Pellegrino. The most important thing is not which product is on sale, because deals change every week. The important thing is the habit of flipping a product over to read the ingredients before you buy, because what you don't know hiding on the back of the label is what ends up costing you the most money. Many people think Kirkland is just Costco's cheap private label brand, until they realize some products are nearly on par with premium brands while costing tens of dollars less. And a lot of these deals are quietly increasing in price or getting close to disappearing from warehouses. If you shop at Costco without knowing which products are actually worth buying right now, you could be missing some of the best deals currently available. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. 5 Cheese Tortellini. Costco recently refreshed the entire packaging for this tortellini line, and it looks much more premium than the older version. At $11.99 for 2 large packs, this is a great buy for nights when you want a quick dinner that still feels restaurant quality. The 5 cheese filling is rich and flavorful, especially when paired with the Tuscany marinara sauce that recently returned to stores. Just a few minutes of boiling and you have an extremely addictive pasta dish. 2. Shrimp Cocktail. Shrimp cocktail has always been one of Costco's most consistently popular deli items because it requires almost no prep. The current price is around $10 per pound, so an average tray usually costs about $16 to $22, depending on weight. It already comes with shrimp, cocktail sauce, and sliced lemons, making it very convenient for family parties or weekend BBQs. It looks pretty premium, but the total cost is still much lower than ordering a seafood platter elsewhere. 3. Smoked pulled pork. This smoked, pulled pork is almost like a secret weapon for ultra-fast meals. Currently discounted to $12.99, you only need to heat it for a few minutes to make sandwiches, tacos, or loaded fries very easily. The meat is tender with a noticeable smoky flavor, so it doesn't need much extra seasoning. This is the kind of item people often buy again every Costco trip because it saves time and fits perfectly with BBQ season. 4. Smoked pork back ribs. This is the kind of summer deal that can easily make people decide to have a BBQ at the last minute. Kirkland's fully cooked smoked pork back ribs are currently discounted around $3 to $4 per pack and are placed right near the rotisserie chicken section, making them very easy to toss into the cart. The ribs come with a dry rub instead of pre-coated sauce, so you can choose your own BBQ style. Just heat them in the oven or air fryer for about 15 to 20 minutes, and they feel very close to smokehouse-style ribs. 5. Kirkland Allergy Medicine. Every allergy season, Kirkland's allergy medicine sells extremely fast because the pricing almost crushes the big pharmacy brand names. At around $11.50, some varieties are even discounted a few extra dollars in-store. What makes these products popular is that the formulas are nearly equivalent to major brands while costing much less. 6. Kirkland CoQ10. CoQ10 supplements are usually fairly expensive at vitamin stores, so Kirkland's roughly $20 price is considered very affordable. The product uses a 300 milligram dosage with a large bottle count, making the daily cost much lower than many other popular brands. This is also one of the supplement categories many people prioritize when they start paying more attention to heart health and energy support. 7. Dry facial towels. Dry facial towels have become a major skincare trend as more people try to avoid reusable face towels that can hold bacteria. Costco currently sells a 4-box combo for only $15, while many brands elsewhere charge nearly that much for just one box. The towels feel fairly thick, soft, and very convenient for nighttime skincare routines. This is the kind of simple product that's hard to stop using once you get used to it. 8. Strawberries and cream dessert. Costco's bakery section has been constantly crowded around the strawberry cream desserts because this line sells extremely fast. The traditional dessert version, priced at $14.99, was already very popular, but this year Costco also released a giant 4-pound strawberry cream pie for summer at $18.99. The whipped cream, fresh strawberries, and cinnamon graham crumble make it feel very similar to desserts from high-end bakeries, but at a much lower price. 9. Tiramisu cheesecake. Tiramisu cheesecake has become one of the most sought-after bakery items because it basically combines two famous desserts into one cake. Now discounted to $19.99, the rich cheesecake paired with cold brew coffee flavor and cocoa gives it a very premium feel. The cake is fairly large, making it perfect for family parties or weekend gatherings without needing to buy much more expensive dessert elsewhere. 10. Carrot bar cake. The carrot bar cake is currently one of the bakery items people should buy early because Costco employees have confirmed this seasonal item is about to leave shelves. Priced at $17.99, the cake is fairly large and comes with a very thick layer of cream cheese frosting. The carrot cake includes raisins, walnuts, and pineapple, making it very moist instead of dry. 11. Lemon custard pie. Unlike many lemon meringue pies that are often too sour or too sweet, Costco's lemon custard pie has a lighter and creamier flavor. At $19.99 for a large pie, this dessert is great for people who prefer something lighter while still keeping that bakery-style feel. The custard is smooth, and the lemon flavor stays mild enough that it doesn't become overpowering, especially for the current warm weather. 12. Kirkland French vodka. This is almost the most famous legendary Kirkland dupe. The 1.75-liter French vodka, priced around $20, is constantly compared to Grey Goose because of its similarly smooth and clean taste. What makes this bottle famous is how premium it feels for the price, especially compared to many high-end brands that cost 2 or 3 times more. One of Costco's strongest liquor deals for years. 13. Kirkland American Vodka. If the French vodka version is considered the premium dupe, then Kirkland American Vodka is the true value option. At only around $13 for a 1.75-liter bottle distilled 6 times, this price is almost impossible to find at regular liquor stores. The taste is a little stronger than the French version, but still very easy to drink in cocktails or party mixes. 14. Kirkland London Dry Gin. Kirkland's London Dry Gin is one of the bottles that surprises people the most because it costs only around $18 while delivering much higher quality than expected. The giant 1.75-liter bottle has a very balanced botanical flavor and works especially well for gin and tonics or summer cocktails. It's also commonly compared to much more expensive gin brands, so whenever people see it fully stocked, it's usually worth considering. 15. Vodka Soda Variety Pack. Canned cocktails are always popular during hot weather, and this vodka soda variety pack is currently selling pretty quickly. Now discounted to $23.99 for 24 cans, the pack includes peach, pineapple, and watermelon flavors that are very easy to drink. The biggest appeal is convenience. Just chill the cans, and you instantly have ready-to-party drinks without needing mixers or extra prep. 16. Kirkland Hard Seltzer. Kirkland Hard Seltzer still holds its spot as one of the best value party drinks every summer. The 24-can pack is currently around $19.99 in stores, much cheaper than many popular hard seltzer brands. The lime, black cherry, raspberry, and mango flavors are all light, easy to drink, and not overly sweet. This is the kind of product that sells out quickly on weekends because many people buy full cases for BBQs or outdoor gatherings. 17. Tomato Basil Soup, 2-pack. Costco's tomato basil soup has almost become a comfort food staple whenever the weather cools down or people want a quick meal. At around $10 for 2 large containers, it pairs perfectly with grilled cheese sandwiches or pasta. One thing people noticed is the star mark now showing on the price tag, which usually signals the product may be leaving stores temporarily. 18. Chicken Tortilla Soup. Some Costco products aren't necessarily new, but every time they hit shelves, they end up in everyone's cart, and chicken tortilla soup is one of them. The soup has a rich Mexican-style flavor with chicken, tomatoes, and balanced seasoning that doesn't become overwhelming. Many people like this one because it can easily be portioned out and frozen for later. On busy days, just heat it for a few minutes, and you already have a pretty complete meal. 19. Charred Chipotle Chicken. If people could keep only one quick emergency meal protein in the fridge, many would choose this charred chipotle chicken. The 2-pound bag, priced at $12.99, comes fully cooked and pre-seasoned, so it needs almost no prep. The light, smoky chipotle flavor works especially well for tacos or salads. This is the kind of convenient meal prep protein that can easily be used across several different meals. Like this video if this surprised you. 20. Organic Guacamole. This guacamole line continues selling steadily year-round because it comes in individually portioned cups. At $12.99, you get multiple small portions, so you don't end up opening one large container that turns brown after a day or two. The avocado flavor tastes fresh, and the texture is smooth while still slightly chunky, making it great with tortilla chips, tacos, or sandwiches. This is the kind of item people often toss into the cart without even planning to. 21. Organic Hummus. It's hard to find an organic hummus combo priced this well right now outside Costco. For only around $7.50, the pack includes 20 small cups that are convenient for work, picnics, or snacks during the day. The pre-portioned cups also help reduce waste compared to traditional large containers. It works great with vegetables, pita chips, or even as a sandwich spread, especially for lighter snacks that still keep you full. 22. Kirkland French Roast K-Cups. Coffee pod prices have gone up noticeably lately, so Kirkland's 120-count French Roast K-Cup box is still considered a very strong deal. The current $44.99 warehouse price is a few dollars cheaper than buying online and much more affordable than many major pod brands at grocery stores. This French roast has a bold flavor with a light smoky finish and works especially well for people who enjoy strong, dark roast coffee in the morning. 23. Kirkland paper towels. Even though paper towel prices have increased a lot this year, Kirkland remains a repeat purchase for many shoppers because the thickness and absorbency are much better than many cheaper grocery store options. At $19.99 for a large pack, this is the kind of product people buy once and use for a long time. Many families even prioritize Kirkland over famous name brands because the quality stays consistent while the overall cost feels much more reasonable. 24. Kirkland outdoor trash bags. Few Costco products get praised as lasting forever, as much as Kirkland outdoor trash bags do. The large box costs $24.99 and includes 70 extra thick 50-gallon bags. The biggest value comes from how sturdy they feel and how rarely they tear with heavy loads. This is the kind of everyday product that seems basic until you actually start using it. 25. Kirkland gallon freezer bags. Anyone who meal preps or freezes food regularly probably already knows Kirkland freezer bags are popular for their durability. At $15.49 for a large box of 192-gallon bags, the expandable bottom makes it much easier to store meat, soup, or fruit. There's also a space at the top for writing dates and food names, which is great for keeping the freezer more organized. 26. Kirkland quart freezer bags. The smaller quart version is especially convenient for portioned meals, snacks, or cut fruit. At $12.99 for the large box, the cost per bag is very low compared to many other brands. The zipper seal feels secure, and the bag material is thick enough for long-term freezing without getting freezer burn easily. 27. Crystal clear plastic cutlery set. As BBQ season, graduation parties, and picnics start, this cutlery set also begins selling very quickly at Costco. Now discounted to $14.99 for a 360-piece set, many people like the Crystal Clear line because it looks cleaner and more upscale than thin white plastic utensils. The knives, forks, and spoons all feel fairly sturdy, making them much more convenient for larger parties without constantly buying disposable utensils at grocery stores. 28. Kirkland napkins. At first glance, these just look like regular napkins, but they're actually one of the products many families always stock up on at Costco. At $12.99 for 4 large packs totaling nearly 1,000 napkins, the cost works out very affordable for parties or daily use. Costco also separates them into smaller packs, making them easier to store instead of one huge package taking over the pantry. 29. Liquid egg whites. Egg prices still haven't completely stabilized, so these liquid egg whites are being bought heavily for meal prep and healthier eating. The 6-carton set is currently discounted to $10.99 and works great for omelets, breakfast sandwiches, or baking without separating egg yolks manually. What people like most is being able to pour directly into the pan, saving both time and wasted whole eggs. 30. Kirkland tortilla chips. At $5.49 for a nearly 3-pound party-size bag, Kirkland tortilla chips are still considered very hard to beat right now, even after a small 50-cent price increase. Kirkland chips are popular because they're thin, crispy, and not overly hard, making them great with salsa, guacamole, or homemade nachos. 31. Kirkland sharp cheddar cheese. Even with prices continuing to rise, Kirkland's 2-pound block of sharp cheddar at $5.99 remains a regular monthly purchase for many shoppers. The cheese has a rich flavor and shreds easily, making it great for pasta, sandwiches, burgers, or homemade nachos. Since it comes in block form, it stays fresh longer than pre-shredded cheese and can also be portioned and frozen if not used right away. 32. Kirkland almond butter. Kirkland's 27-ounce almond butter jar is currently discounted pretty heavily compared to most supermarket almond butter prices. At $7.99, this is easily one of the best healthy pantry buys at Costco right now. The texture is fairly thick, the roasted almond flavor stands out clearly, and the ingredients are much simpler than those of many mainstream brands. Spread it on toast, blend it into smoothies, or eat it with fruit and it already feels like a filling, healthy snack. 33. Organic peanut butter. After disappearing from warehouses for a while, this organic peanut butter is finally back and still priced fairly well at $11.99 for 2 large jars. What many people like is the very simple ingredient list without too much oil or additives, so the roasted peanut flavor comes through clearly. Just give it a quick stir after opening, and the texture becomes much smoother. 34. Organic salsa. Sometimes one good jar of salsa is enough to make an entire bag of tortilla chips disappear quickly. And Costco's organic version is a perfect example. At around $8 for a large jar, the salsa is fairly chunky with a strong tomato flavor and just enough heat to feel flavorful without becoming overpowering. Great for nachos, taco bowls, or as a topping for grilled chicken and homemade burritos. 35. Canned Alaska salmon. Kirkland's Wild Alaskan Pink Salmon is currently discounted to $15.99 for a 6-can pack. So many people are stocking up. This is the kind of pantry product that's very convenient for salads, sandwiches, pasta, or salmon cakes without needing to thaw or prep fresh fish. The wild-caught Alaska source also makes it feel healthier than many standard canned options. 36. Nordic Ware Baking Sheets. A lot of people buy baking sheets at Costco, not because they need more, but because Nordic Ware products last so long. The 3-piece premium aluminum sheet pan set is currently around $19.99 and is considered a very strong deal compared to retail pricing elsewhere. The pans heat evenly, work well for vegetables or cookies, and feel very sturdy in hand. It's the kind of product you buy once and keep using for years without warping easily. 37. Kirkland Vanilla Extract. Just opening the bottle already gives you that real vanilla smell that feels completely different from cheap vanilla essence. Kirkland's 16 ounces. Pure vanilla extract is currently around $11.99, but the bottle size is much larger than many supermarket versions. Real vanilla is not cheap right now, so Costco's pricing still feels surprisingly good. 38. Kirkland Micellar Cleansing Wipes. After Costco discontinued the older makeup wipes, many people were curious whether this new micellar version would actually be good enough, and the early response has been pretty positive. The large box priced at $12.99 also includes mini packs that are convenient for travel or gym bags. 39. Kirkland Fish Oil 1,200 milligrams. It's hard to find a fish oil bottle with pricing this aggressive right now outside Costco. For only around $13.49, you get 400 soft gels of 1,200 milligrams fish oil, making the daily cost extremely low for long-term use. That's why this product almost always sells very well whenever it goes on sale. Many people choose Kirkland because the pricing is much more approachable than major supplement brands, while the quantity is very generous. 40. Kirkland Krill Oil. Krill oil usually sits in a higher-priced category than regular fish oil, so Kirkland's $23.99 price is still considered fairly competitive, even after a slight increase this year. One reason many people switch to krill oil is the smaller capsules and the fact that they feel easier to take than traditional fish oil capsules. This is also one of Costco's more consistently popular premium supplements because the price is still much lower than many competing brands. 41. Calcium citrate plus magnesium plus zinc plus D3. This supplement bottle is basically the definition of Costco value because it costs only around $10.99, but includes 500 tablets. The formula combines calcium, magnesium, zinc, and D3, which many people prefer over buying separate vitamin bottles individually. 42. Kirkland Arthritis Pain Relief Gel. Many people call this the budget-friendly dupe for Voltaren Gel because the effect feels very similar while costing much less. The $26.99 Kirkland set includes 2 large tubes, making it noticeably cheaper than many name-brand bundles sitting right next to it on the shelf. 43. Kirkland Body Wash. The Kirkland Body Wash combo is easily one of the best value personal care products at Costco. At $11.99 for 2 large pump bottles, the price is much lower than many popular drugstore body wash brands. It lathers well, has an easy-to-like scent, and the large size makes it perfect for bigger families. 44 Kirkland Bar Soap. At less than $1 per bar, it's easy to see why this soap line continues selling steadily at Costco. The 15-bar set priced at $12.49 comes individually wrapped, making it convenient for storage or gradual use over several months. One thing many people like is that the bars stay firm longer and don't get mushy quickly when wet, giving that lasts forever feeling. A very classic Costco bulk buy item. 45 Kirkland Performance Plus Golf Balls. Kirkland's golf balls have remained controversial for years because the performance feels surprisingly good for the price. The 24-ball set currently costs around $30, but the feel and spin performance have led many golfers to compare them with much more expensive brands. At this price, they can save golfers a significant amount over a full season. 46 Polarized Sunglasses. It's hard to find polarized sunglasses under $30 that still feel this solid in hand, like the ones Costco is currently selling. At around $27, they even include a carrying case. The polarized lenses noticeably reduce glare while driving or going to the beach, while the price stays far lower than many common eyewear brands sold at malls. 47 Kirkland Golf Gloves. Anyone who plays golf regularly knows gloves need to be replaced pretty often, which is why Kirkland's 4-pack of genuine leather golf gloves is considered such a strong deal. At around $23, the leather feels soft, the grip is solid, and the overall feel is surprisingly premium for the price. Kirkland sports products continue to get praised because the quality usually exceeds expectations. 48 Large Pet Bed. Costco's pet section only occasionally gets products that make shoppers stop and really take a second look, and this oversized pet bed is a perfect example. The price is currently reduced to $45, but the bed is very spacious with thick cushioning and soft plush-style fabric that works especially well for larger dogs. Kirkland is no longer just a cheap private label brand. Many of these products feel close to specialty store or major brand quality while staying much more affordable. These are the kinds of purchases that help save money long-term instead of just being impulse buys. And at Costco, the best deals usually disappear faster than people expect. Which Kirkland product do you think is the best deal this time? The most anticipated shopping season at Costco has finally started. And right now, there are seasonal items so good that even longtime shoppers are turning back to grab a second one before the shelves are completely cleared out. This is the time of year when Costco releases some of its most worthwhile products, and not everyone realizes it early enough. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One, Rio Beach SPF 50+ Beach Umbrella. It's not a coincidence that Rio Beach umbrellas start showing up all over beaches. The brand is known for offering very solid durability at an affordable price point, especially with its strong sun protection thanks to the SPF 50+ coating and the air vent design that helps reduce pressure from strong wind gusts. At the beach, cheap umbrellas can easily flip over or bend after just a few uses when the wind picks up, but the Rio Beach model holds its shape surprisingly well. The adjustable tilt feature also helps block the sun more effectively in the afternoon without constantly having to move your chair around. At around $35, this is one of the best value seasonal finds at Costco right now. 2. Henkel's BBQ Tray and Skewer Set. The moment you host a BBQ for a larger group even once, you immediately understand why convenient grilling accessory sets like this become so popular. Henkel's is already well known for its German knives and kitchen tools, so the stainless steel finish on this tray and skewer set feels extremely solid and clean. The biggest convenience is how coordinated everything is, from the skewers and serving trays to handling and turning food on the grill. The thick stainless steel construction handles heat well, absorbs less odor, and is much easier to clean after outdoor cookouts. At $39, your home BBQ setup instantly feels far more professional. 3. Igloo Wheeled Cooler. A lot of families have stayed loyal to Igloo for decades whenever picnic and road trip season comes back around. Small but extremely practical improvements like smoother wheels, sturdier handles, and ice retention that lasts for days instead of just a few hours like cheap coolers make a huge difference. There's still a convenient drain plug at the bottom, so you no longer have to lift a heavy cooler just to dump out melted ice water. At $52, this is practically a must-have for families who love outdoor activities or regularly travel on weekends. 4. Coleman Day Tripper Sun Shelter. Under intense sun at the beach or park, the thing that drains people the fastest usually isn't the temperature itself. It's not having enough comfortable shade to actually relax. Coleman solves that problem smartly with a setup that takes less than a minute, eliminating almost all the frustration of struggling with poles and strong wind. The weighted sand pockets help keep the shelter stable on the beach, while creating a cool and private space for the whole family. At around $50, this is an incredibly practical outdoor item. 5. Quicksilver Box Cooler Bag. Just looking at the tropical print on the outside already gives off the perfect summer vibe. But the thing getting people's attention is how well this Quicksilver cooler actually keeps things cold, despite its fairly compact size. A lot of soft coolers look great but don't hold ice very long, while this one can maintain cold temperatures for up to around 24 hours with good ice packs. The box-shaped design also makes it much easier to organize food, drinks, and fruit compared to standard soft cooler bags. At $45, it feels both practical and perfectly matched to vacation season. 6. Leisureline Adirondack Chair. Some items instantly make a backyard feel more like a relaxing vacation space the moment you place them outside, and Adirondack chairs have always been one of those items. What's especially noticeable right now is that Costco has marked them down by $30, bringing the price to around $100. The Leisureline version at Costco is getting a lot of attention because of its UV-resistant resin material and excellent weather durability. Unlike cheap wooden chairs left outdoors for long periods, these don't peel or deteriorate nearly as quickly. 7. Titan Performance Cooler Backpack. Bringing cold drinks and snacks to the beach or a picnic becomes much more comfortable when you no longer have to drag a bulky cooler behind you. Titan designed this one as a backpack, making it extremely convenient for walking long distances or carrying supplies for the whole family. The inside is spacious enough for drinks, fruit, and snacks, and it comes with an ice wall that helps keep everything cold for hours in hot weather. At around $32 after the discount, this is one of the most practical outdoor purchases of the season. 8. 2.2-gallon glass/ceramic beverage dispenser. Outdoor gatherings instantly feel more stylish just by placing a beautiful drink dispenser in the middle of the table. The glass body combined with ceramic details creates a cleaner and more elegant look compared to standard plastic dispensers. The large 2.2-gallon capacity is also enough to serve a bigger group without constantly needing refills. At around $22, it's very difficult to find something this large and this attractive outside of Costco. 9. 5x7 feet indoor/outdoor rug. A lot of people don't realize that simply adding the right rug in the right color and size can completely transform a patio or balcony. Costco's indoor-outdoor rug design has a look similar to what you'd see at a resort or outdoor cafe, helping the space feel warmer and more complete without changing much furniture. Costco currently has it marked down to around $60, which is a very solid deal for a 5x7 foot size. 10. Lemon Blueberry Loaf. The combination of light lemon flavor and sweet blueberry is exactly why this loaf becomes a huge seller at Costco. The cake stays soft and moist instead of dry like many packaged loaves elsewhere, while the blueberries help keep the overall flavor from becoming overly sweet. At only around $9 for a fairly large loaf, it's perfect for a quick breakfast pairing with coffee or bringing along to weekend picnics. 11. Costco Croissants. It's very hard to find buttery croissants this large at a price this affordable anywhere else right now. For only around $6, you get a full box of 12 croissants with a golden crispy exterior and a soft, fluffy inside just like a French bakery. At this price, they almost always rank among the best bakery deals at Costco. 12. Edward Mark Strawberry Shortcake Bites. The feeling of biting through the cool strawberry cream coating and then into the soft cookie center makes these incredibly easy to keep eating until suddenly half the box is gone. The flavor perfectly captures the feeling of a classic summer strawberry shortcake, but the bite-sized snack format makes it even more fun to eat. At $13 for a large box at Costco, the price is still considerably cheaper than many similar desserts elsewhere. 13. Kids' Cotton Beach Towels. Once summer starts and kids are involved, beach towels somehow disappear constantly after every pool or water trip. Costco currently has several very cute kids' cotton towel designs with bright colors that are easy to spot in crowded places. The fabric is soft, absorbs water quickly, and still feels thick enough to keep kids warm after swimming. At around $8, it's easy to stock up on a few for the entire summer because the price is such a good deal. 14. Oversized cotton beach towels. Relaxing at the beach or pool becomes a lot more comfortable when you no longer have to curl up on towels that are way too small. The oversized version at Costco comes in a much larger size that instantly gives off a resort-style vibe, especially with the thick cotton fabric that absorbs water well while still drying quickly under the sun. At around $11, the price is noticeably cheaper than many large beach towels sold elsewhere. 15. Vacation SPF 50 Sunscreen. That vacation resort scent is exactly what made vacation sunscreen go viral recently. Instead of the strong chemical smell many sunscreens have, Vacation SPF 50 has a much lighter and more pleasant scent that feels more like a summer lotion. The formula also absorbs much faster than many regular body sunscreens, so it doesn't leave your skin feeling overly heavy or sticky during long outdoor activities. Costco currently has it marked down to around $16 for 2 large tubes. 16. Adjustable pergola with light control roof. The moment you install a pergola, the backyard instantly starts feeling like a true resort space. The biggest highlight is the adjustable roof design that lets you control the amount of sunlight. Whether you want soft morning sun or full shade during the hottest part of the day, it only takes a few simple adjustments. Costco currently has it discounted by as much as $400, bringing the price down to around $1,600, which is significantly cheaper than many high-end aluminum pergolas elsewhere that often cost several $1,000s. 17. Folding composite Adirondack chair set. A lot of people love the classic Adirondack look, but don't want to deal with wooden chairs peeling, warping, or fading after a few seasons of sun and rain. The composite version at Costco solves that problem very well with durable poly lumber material that keeps its color and requires very little maintenance. For around $300, you get 2 chairs and a small side table, instantly making a backyard setup look noticeably more upscale. 18. Solar Cafe string lights. Outdoor spaces at night often feel less cozy simply because the lighting is either too bright or too cold. The Solar Cafe lights at Costco create the perfect warm glow that instantly makes the space feel much more relaxed and inviting as soon as the sun goes down. You also don't need to deal with complicated electrical wiring because they run on solar power and even come with a remote control. At around $32, this is an incredibly worthwhile backyard mood upgrade item. 19. 48-foot outdoor string lights. Just hanging a strand around a patio or fence instantly makes the outdoor space feel like a garden cafe at night. The string lights stretch up to 48 feet, giving wide coverage, and you can even connect multiple sets together for larger yards. Costco currently has them discounted to $22.99, which is an amazing price for a decor piece that changes the atmosphere so dramatically. 20. Solar pathway lights. Backyards can easily feel dark and empty at night without enough pathway lighting. Costco's pathway light set helps walkways and garden beds look much cleaner and more elegant without needing complicated electrical installation. They charge automatically during the day and light up automatically at night, so once they're installed, you can basically leave them alone. At around $27 for the full set, this is the kind of small upgrade that makes the entire yard look much more thoughtfully designed. Like the video if this surprised you. 21. Artificial grass roll. A lot of people want a green backyard year-round, but don't have enough time to constantly maintain real grass. The artificial grass sold at Costco is getting attention because the blades look much more natural compared to many cheaper versions on the market. Whether installed on a patio or in a kid's play area, it creates a cleaner overall look. At around $110 per roll, it isn't cheap, but it can save a significant amount of money on water and lawn maintenance over time. 22. Spruce weed killer. What makes spruce stand out for many people is the safer formula around pets and family living areas. Instead of the heavy chemical smell that traditional weed killers usually have, this product works by quickly dehydrating weeds after spraying. Costco is currently selling the large bottle for around $50. 23. Metal garden trellis. Just placing a few trellises along a fence or garden bed instantly gives the yard a much more garden-style feel, even before the plants fully grow in. Costco uses metal construction, so the trellises look much sturdier and more elegant compared to many cheap plastic versions elsewhere. They look especially beautiful when paired with climbing flowers or ivy vines. At around $20, this is an affordable garden decor upgrade that transforms outdoor spaces very quickly. 24. Ratio 3 Smart Sprinkler Controller. Traditional watering routines often lead to forgetting to water one day and overwatering the next, causing water bills to rise dramatically during hot weather. Ratio 3 solves that problem intelligently by automatically adjusting watering schedules based on real-time weather through Wi-Fi. If it rains, the system automatically reduces or pauses watering. Everything is controlled through your phone, making it much more convenient for busy people. Costco currently has it discounted to around $150, which is noticeably cheaper than buying it elsewhere. 25. Keter Self-Watering Raised Garden Bed with Wheels. Without needing to bend down too much or worry about plants drying out after forgetting to water for a few days, this raised garden bed has become popular because of its very smart design. The self-watering system helps maintain stable moisture for vegetables or flowers, while the wheels underneath make it easy to move the planter based on sunlight direction. At around $110, home gardening suddenly feels much easier and cleaner. 26. Blueberry and Raspberry Bushes. Costco currently has very healthy blueberry and raspberry plants that are easy to grow in large pots or small backyards while still producing fruit fairly quickly. During harvest season, the plants look beautiful while also giving you fresh berries to eat or use in homemade smoothies. At around $25 per plant, many people consider them a very solid deal for berry bushes that are extremely popular right now. 27. Dwarf Citrus Lime Tree. Costco's dwarf citrus varieties are also becoming popular because the compact size still produces fruit consistently year-round with proper care. Placed in a planter, they look lush and much more elegant than many regular decorative plants, while the roughly $39 price feels far more affordable compared to many outside nurseries. 28. Olipop Variety Pack Prebiotic Soda. Olipop became popular thanks to its healthy soda approach with digestion-supporting prebiotics and significantly lower sugar levels. The fruity flavors, light carbonation, and trendy can designs make them extremely common at summer picnics and BBQ gatherings. Costco is currently selling the large 15-can variety pack for around $24, making it very tempting to try. 29. Good Pop Fruit Sours Popsicles. During the hottest summer days, slightly tart fruit popsicles like these usually disappear from the freezer very quickly. Good Pop uses real fruit juice, so the flavor tastes lighter and more natural than many heavily colored supermarket popsicles. At around $13 for a 16-count box at Costco, many shoppers consider it a really good deal. 30. Strawberries and Cream Dessert. Every strawberry season, Costco's bakery section almost always becomes noticeably more crowded because of this dessert alone. The light whipped cream combined with fresh strawberries and the slightly crunchy crumble layer underneath creates a chilled dessert that feels refreshing without becoming overly rich. The container is also fairly large, making it perfect for BBQ parties or weekend gatherings. At around $15, this is practically one of the most hunted seasonal desserts at Costco right now. 31. Roborock Robot Vacuum and Mop. Weekends become a lot more enjoyable when you no longer have to spend hours vacuuming and mopping floors before every gathering. Roborock is currently discounted at Costco by around $120, bringing the price down to roughly $480. But what many people really love is the smart combination of both vacuuming and mopping in one machine. The low-profile design also helps it reach deep under sofas and beds much more easily. 32. Shark Stain Striker Portable Cleaner. The moment you have pets or regularly eat on the couch, there will eventually be stubborn stains on furniture or carpets. Shark Stain Striker has become very popular because of its compact cordless design, while still delivering much stronger cleaning power than many people expect. Costco currently sells it for around $120 with a full accessory set, making it feel like a very worthwhile purchase. 33. Frigidaire Nugget Ice Maker. The Frigidaire Nugget Ice Maker is getting a lot of attention because it creates the same soft, chewable nugget ice you usually get at cafes and popular fast food chains. Unlike regular hard ice cubes, Nugget Ice chills drinks faster and makes beverages much more satisfying to drink, especially soda, cold brew, or lemonade. Frigidaire currently sells for around $150 at Costco, which is significantly cheaper than many nugget ice makers online that often cost nearly twice as much. 34. Adjustable hiking trekking poles. The trekking pole set at Costco stands out because of its adjustable height design, making it comfortable for both shorter and taller users. During long hikes, the improvement in balance and reduced pressure on your legs becomes very noticeable. At $39 for the full set, it feels like a solid investment if you plan to spend more time outdoors this summer. 35. Thermacell Mosquito Repellent Set. Thermacell is popular with many families because it creates a mosquito protection zone around the seating area without requiring direct spray on your skin like traditional bug repellents. The compact, rechargeable design also makes it easy to bring along for picnics or camping trips. Costco currently sells the value pack for around $55, and it lasts quite a while. 36. LED Light-Up Cornhole Set. When the sun goes down but nobody wants to end the BBQ or backyard party yet, an LED cornhole set almost becomes the entertainment center of the entire backyard. The lighting system offers multiple modes that make the game stand out dramatically at night, creating the perfect summer gathering atmosphere. At around $130 for the full-size illuminated set, it becomes a major highlight for outdoor parties. 37. Pickleball Set. Pickleball has exploded in popularity over the past few years because it's easier to play than tennis while still being fun and active. The Costco set includes paddles and balls, so you can start playing immediately after buying it. It's especially great for families or groups of friends on weekends. Costco currently has it discounted to around $55, making it very tempting to try this summer. 38. LED Light-Up Cornhole Set. A lot of families buy cornhole sets only to lose interest after playing a few daytime games. But the LED version creates a completely different experience once it gets dark outside. The bright lighting makes backyard parties feel much more lively. The full-size boards feel very sturdy, and the lighting effects make the game look incredibly good in outdoor videos and photos. 39. Kirkland Allertech Allergy Relief. When pollen season arrives, many people start sneezing non-stop early in the morning. But the reason Kirkland Signature Allertech sells so well is the extremely affordable price compared to name-brand allergy medicine. Costco currently sells a 365-tablet bottle for only around $10.50, which is practically enough to last many families an entire year. 40. Allegra Allergy Relief. A lot of people choose Allegra when they want to stay more alert during the day. The lower drowsiness effect makes it especially useful for people who drive, work, or spend a lot of time outdoors during the hotter months. Costco currently has the large box discounted to around $30, which still ends up being significantly cheaper than buying smaller boxes at a pharmacy. 41. Zyrtec Allergy Relief. For people with more severe allergies, especially constant sneezing and itchy eyes, Zyrtec is often considered a little stronger on peak pollen days. That's also why many families continue stocking it every spring and summer, even though it costs a bit more than the Kirkland version. Costco currently sells the 120-count box for around $32. 42. Claritin Allergy Relief. Many people see Claritin as a more balanced option between effectiveness and long-term comfort. At around $31 for a 115-count box at Costco, the current price still feels much more affordable compared to many other retailers. 43. Solar Lantern. The soft, warm glow of resort-style lantern lighting makes evenings outside or nighttime BBQ gatherings feel much more atmospheric without needing a complicated setup. Costco currently sells these for around $30, and with enough sunlight during the day, the lantern can stay lit for most of the evening without needing to be plugged in. 44. Glass Mushroom Garden Lights. Instead of basic garden lights that feel too plain, the mushroom glass lights at Costco create a much softer and more artistic look once they light up at night. During the day, they look like decorative garden pieces, and at night they create a very relaxed and cozy lighting effect. At around $30, this is a small purchase that makes a backyard look noticeably more thoughtfully designed. 45 LED solar rock lights. A lot of backyard areas feel dark or lack visual interest at night, and these solar rock lights solve that problem very naturally without making the space look artificial. The design mimics real stone, so they blend into landscaping much better than standard plastic lights when placed near plants or pathways. Costco currently sells the set for around $20, making it a very worthwhile option for anyone wanting a subtle backyard upgrade. Every season at Costco brings products that seem like just regular seasonal items at first, but end up making life more convenient, more beautiful, and far more enjoyable when bought at the right time. So if you're stopping by the warehouse right now, don't miss the most worthwhile seasonal products that shoppers are aggressively hunting down on Costco shelves. Which items from this video would end up filling your cart?
Nobody leaves Costco with just one thing.
You may have walked right past dozens of clearance deals at Costco without realizing you just missed the chance to save hundreds of dollars in a single shopping trip. And right now, Costco is quietly slashing prices on a huge number of items to clear inventory for the new season. If wait a few more days, there's a good chance all that'll be left are empty shelves. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One, Glow-Tech Makeup Mirror. One of the hottest beauty deals this week for skincare and makeup fans. The Glow-Tech mirror not only has ultra-bright touch LED lighting, but also includes a magnetic 7x magnifying mirror that's super convenient for eyeliner or detailed skincare. The height-adjustable stand also gives it that premium vanity feel. Originally priced close to $40, it's now marked down to just $19.97. 2. Apache Mills Anti-Slip Mat. Apache Mills is heavily clearing out this industrial anti-slip mat line, now discounted 50% down to only $9.97. The deep grooves trap dirt and water extremely well, while the thick molded rubber backing feels much sturdier than regular thin mats. This is the kind of practical mat that works perfectly for garages, entryways, or muddy patio areas. 3. Nicole Miller Patio Rug. Costco is aggressively marking down the Nicole Miller patio rug line, taking an extra $20 off and bringing the price down to just $19.97. The shell-inspired pattern gives off a strong summer resort vibe, instantly brightening patios or balconies. The material is UV-resistant, fade-resistant in sunlight, and very lightweight when moving or cleaning. 4. Seagrass Storage Basket. Costco is cutting the price in half on this very stylish seagrass storage basket. The natural woven seagrass frame looks similar to decorative baskets sold at high-end home stores, while the inside is lined with durable, heavy fabric for better support. One great detail is that it folds flat when not in use, making it very convenient for living rooms, bedrooms, or laundry areas. 5. Seville Classics Ultra Slimline Tower Fan. The Seville Classics Tower Fan is showing up in the clearance section with a strong markdown, dropping from nearly $55 to $29.97 for this compact ultra slimline model. The ultra-thin tower design saves space, but the oscillation range still spreads airflow across the room very well. 6. Love Crunch Organic Granola. One of the most interesting breakfast deals, under $5 right now. Love Crunch Organic granola is currently marked down to just $3.97, which is more than half off the original price. The crunchy oat mix with chocolate and dried berries has a balanced sweetness that tastes great with yogurt, smoothie bowls, or cold milk. 7. Cuisinart 4-Slice Toaster. One of the kitchen appliances has a very attractive clearance price at Costco right now. This stainless steel 4-slice Cuisinart toaster is currently marked down to $29.97 instead of its usual price around $45. The wide slots fit bagels and thick bread easily, and it includes multiple browning levels plus a reheat mode that's very convenient for quick weekday breakfasts. 8. Ninja Foodi Possible Cooker. This 8.5-quart multi-cooker is currently showing a very aggressive markdown with the price reduced to just $99.97. The large cooking pot is built for family-size meals, from soups and pasta to slow cooking and searing. Costco's appliance section usually sells Ninja products very quickly, whenever large capacity multi-cookers drop below the $100 range like this. 9. Tommy Bahama Solar Lantern. One of the most premium-looking outdoor decor deals in the clearance section right now. This Tommy Bahama Solar Lantern is currently marked down to just $12.97 and features a rust-resistant metal frame with warm resort-style lighting that looks especially nice at night. The solar-powered design also means no messy electrical cords. 10. Fade Electric Smart LED Light Set. Getting a 2-pack of color-changing smart LED lights for under $10 is a pretty rare deal at Costco right now. This Fade Electric set lets you switch between cool white and warm lighting, adjust brightness through the app, or control everything with Alexa and Google Assistant voice commands. 11. Samsung Crystal UHD 65-inch TV. A Samsung 65-inch TV for under $300 is making Costco's electronics section much busier this week. The 2025 Crystal UHD model is currently discounted by $150 and comes with a large 4K display, bright colors, and very solid clarity for everyday movies or sports. 12. Hisense 75-inch Google TV. Large-screen TV deals are also getting a lot of attention with this Hisense 75-inch Google TV. Costco is taking an extra $180 off, bringing this giant 4K TV down to just $399.97. The 75-inch screen creates a mini home theater feel right in the living room, while the Google TV system supports voice search and easy streaming. 13. LG Soundbar plus Wireless Subwoofer. Finding an LG Soundbar combo with a wireless subwoofer for under $100 is pretty rare at Costco right now. This setup delivers much stronger surround sound than standard TV speakers, with deeper and more powerful bass for movies or concerts. The wireless subwoofer also keeps the setup much cleaner, especially for smaller living rooms or apartment spaces. 14. Duracell Braided Charging Cable Set. This 3-pack Duracell charging cable set is now down to $14.97 instead of its original price near $25. The braided camo-style cables feel much thicker and sturdier than regular charging cords, helping reduce fraying, broken connectors, and tangled wires. 15. Buffalo Wild Wings Sauce Set. As BBQ season starts, Costco also begins heavily clearing out large sauce bundles, and this Buffalo Wild Wings set is now under $10 for 4 bottles with different flavors, from sweeter sauces to spicy buffalo styles. The current price is almost the same as buying only 2 bottles separately at a supermarket. 16. McCormick Gourmet Garlic Salt. McCormick's gourmet seasoning line is currently marked down to under $4 for a large container at Costco. The sea salt and garlic blend has a very strong aroma, and even a light sprinkle on steak, roasted potatoes, or air fryer wings noticeably changes the flavor and smell. 17. Mayorga Café Cubano Organic Coffee. This Cuban-style organic dark roast is currently marked down to $11.97 instead of nearly $18 before. The beans have a bold roast with very noticeable dark chocolate and molasses notes, making them great for strong espresso or rich lattes. The 2-pound bag size also makes it very easy to stock up when Costco starts clearing out organic coffee lines. 18. Charcuterie Board Set. Costco is aggressively clearing out these charcuterie trays for only $6.97 because the expiration date is less than 7 days away. Each tray already comes arranged with sliced cheeses, nuts, and dried fruit, making it easy to instantly set up a nice snack board for wine nights or weekend gatherings. For anyone planning to eat it within the next few days, this is an extremely good deal. 19. Tipiak French Macarons. The frozen Tipiak macarons are currently marked down nearly 50% to just $7.97 for a 36-piece assorted box. The thin, crisp shell on the outside combined with the soft cream filling gives a very clear French bakery-style texture. 20. Dubai Pistachio Chocolate Gift Box. Dubai-style chocolate was once extremely popular on TikTok, and Costco currently has this premium pistachio gift box marked down to $29.97. The large gift box design with artistic molded chocolate bars looks very elegant for gifting or setting up a dessert table. Like the video if this surprised you. 21. Liquid IV Energy Multipliers. Costco is currently discounting Liquid IV Energy by nearly half, bringing the 24-pack box down to $14.97. This hydration powder is popular for its electrolyte formula, combined with green tea caffeine and B vitamins. Seasonal flavors like watermelon and peach usually don't stay in clearance very long, especially once summer weather starts heating up. 22. Shiseido Essential Energy Skincare Set. One of the few high-end skincare products currently getting a fairly deep markdown at Costco. The Shiseido Essential Energy Set is now discounted an extra $20 and features a rich, moisturizing cream texture that gives skin that glossy glass skin look. 23. Fabuloso Lavender Floor Cleaner. The large-size Fabuloso Lavender Cleaner is currently marked down to under $7 for a 2-bottle pack. This floor cleaner is very popular because the lavender scent lasts quite a while after cleaning. The family-size bottles also last a long time, especially for homes with kids or pets where floors need frequent cleaning. 24. Ziploc Variety Container Pack. This Ziploc food storage set is currently on clearance for only $7.97 for a 24-piece pack, nearly 50% off the usual price. Inside are multiple container sizes from small to large, making them convenient. The BPA-free plastic is microwave safe and dishwasher safe. 25. Purina Fancy Feast Cat Food. If you own cats, this is exactly the kind of deal that makes people instantly throw it into the cart. Costco is currently taking an extra $11 off the 48-can Fancy Feast variety pack with different meat and seafood flavors. This line is popular because of the soft pâté texture, strong aroma, and the fact that many cats eat it very willingly. 26. Adidas Adilette Comfort Slides. The Adidas Adilette Comfort Slides are currently down to $12.97 and still include the brand's signature soft cloud foam cushioning. The basic slide design works well for everyday wear, from quick grocery runs to beach trips or just wearing around the house. The simple strap style is also easy to match with summer outfits like shorts, joggers, or athleisure wear. 27. Kirkland Shearling Slippers. A pair of fur-lined slippers under $10 feels pretty unbelievable once you actually pick them up in the store. The inside lining feels noticeably thick and soft when trying them on. The closed-toe design keeps feet warmer than standard slides, while the upper looks surprisingly similar to much more expensive winter slipper styles. 28. Puma Axelion Running Shoes. The Puma Axelion is currently being cleared out by size for $24.97 as a sneaker designed more for gym use and everyday walking. The sock-style collar combined with the TPU heel support gives the shoe a very sporty feel on foot. The overall design looks stronger and more modern than many standard running shoes and pairs, especially well with joggers or gym outfits. 29. Samsonite Disney Kids Suitcase. Costco is taking an extra $30 off the Samsonite Disney Kids luggage line, featuring characters like Spider-Man, Stitch, and Disney princesses. The hard-shell exterior handles bumps very well, the wheels roll smoothly, and the size fits standard carry-on requirements for family flights. 30. Yeti Rambler 26-ounce bottle. Yeti rarely gets heavily discounted at Costco, so this clearance price of $19.97 for the Rambler 26-ounce bottle is getting a lot of attention. The bottle uses double-wall stainless steel insulation to keep drinks cold for a very long time. Older seasonal colors like Nordic pink and alpine blue usually disappear very quickly once the new color lineup arrives. 31. Titanium Picnic Utensil Set. This titanium picnic set is currently on clearance for under $10 and includes 4 full sets of spoons, forks, and knives. The titanium material is extremely lightweight but still very sturdy, doesn't leave a metallic taste while eating, and works especially well for camping or outdoor picnics. 32. Disney Organic Gummies Plus Toy. The snack section currently has a pretty interesting deal on Disney Organic Gummies, now marked down to $4.97. The gummies are made with natural fruit juice, contain no artificial colors, and come with a small Disney character toy inside. This is exactly the kind of item parents casually toss into the cart once they see the under $5 price and colorful kid-friendly packaging. 33. Foxwood Cozy Rug. The large Foxwood Cozy Rug, originally priced over $200, is currently marked down to just $149.97. This rug stands out for its thick, soft, cozy texture and fringe edges that resemble expensive boutique-style decor rugs. The oversized design works well for living rooms or bedrooms, while the neutral colors make it easy to match with many furniture styles. 34. Jose's Vanilla Nut Whole Bean Coffee. This 3-pound bag of Jose's Vanilla Nut Whole Bean Coffee is currently sitting in the clearance section with a very noticeable roasted vanilla aroma as soon as you open the bag. The blend leans toward a smooth medium roast that isn't overly strong, making it great for cold brew or everyday coffee. 35. Heinz Baked Beans in Tomato Sauce. These British-style Heinz Baked Beans are popular because the tomato sauce tastes slightly sweet and more flavorful than many regular canned beans. They pair especially well with toast, breakfast sausage, or hash browns for an English-style breakfast. A 6-can pack of Heinz Baked Beans is currently down to just $4.97. 36. Kinder's Butter Buffalo Sauce. Kinder's currently has a pretty aggressive markdown on the large Butter Buffalo Sauce bottle, now down to $4.97 and much cheaper than prices at Target or Walmart. The sauce has that classic buffalo flavor with a buttery richness while still keeping a moderate heat level. I personally think it works extremely well with wings, shrimp, or grilled chicken. 37. Large Olive Medley Jar. This large olive medley jar is currently on clearance at Costco for $9.97, compared to its previous price around $15. Inside are several different olive varieties marinated with seasoning and oil, making it look very nice on charcuterie boards or salads. Personally, I find this blend slightly saltier than regular olives, so pairing it with cheese or crackers balances the flavor better. 38. Lume Deodorant 3-pack. Lume Whole Body Deodorant is currently appearing in clearance sections at many warehouses, with prices ranging from $14.97 to $24.97 depending on the location. The 3-pack includes multiple scents and can be used on several body areas, not just underarms. The cream texture feels a little different at first compared to traditional deodorant sticks, but the scent lasts quite well throughout the day. 39. Starbucks Cafe Verona K-Cup 72 count. The 72 count box of Cafe Verona K-Cups is currently on clearance for $34.97. This is one of Starbucks' more popular dark roasts, with a bold flavor and a more noticeable chocolate finish than many standard blends. People who prefer strong coffee or use a Keurig daily tend to like this line because the flavor stays consistent from the first cup to the last. 40. Nintendo Switch 2 Case Plus Controller. This Switch 2 accessory combo includes the Power A Advantage controller and a slim protective carrying case, now marked down to $34.97. The controller uses Hall effect sticks that help reduce stick drift issues, and the grip feels sturdier than standard Joy-Cons. 41. Costco Fine Jewelry Rings. Costco's jewelry section currently has several fine jewelry rings showing clearance tags, with prices ranging from around $1,400 to $2,799.97. The designs lean toward a simple and elegant everyday style without looking overly flashy. Anyone familiar with department store jewelry counters will notice Costco usually keeps prices much lower for similar real gold and diamond pieces. 42. 18-piece glass storage container set. This 18-piece glass storage set is currently discounted an extra $20 down to $49.97 at Costco. The set includes 9 glass containers and 9 BPA-free lids with leak-resistant seals. The glass feels thicker and heavier than most standard meal prep sets, making it very convenient for storing hot food or leftovers. 43. Large Salad Spinner. Costco is clearing out this large salad spinner for $12.97 during salad and summer meal prep season. The spinning basket dries greens much faster after washing, especially spinach or romaine, which tends to hold water. 44. Downhaven Pillow. The Downhaven Pillow is currently in the clearance section priced at $39.97 for the standard size. The pillow has a thick and soft traditional down-style feel, making it a good fit for people who prefer more cushion compared to firm memory foam. The outer cover also has a clean, hotel-style appearance that makes the bed look fuller than with thinner, standard pillows. 45 Stearns & Foster Pillow. Stearns & Foster currently has one of the lowest markdowns I've seen at Costco for this pillow line, now down to $29.97. The support feels very balanced, without flattening too quickly, and the medium height makes it comfortable for several sleeping positions. For anyone who dislikes very thick memory foam pillows, this one feels softer and easier to adjust to. 46 Ecox Gear Waterproof Speaker. Originally priced near $80, this Ecox Gear portable speaker is now marked down to just $49.97. It features IPX7 waterproof protection and can even float if dropped into a pool or at the beach. The built-in battery can also work as a power bank for charging phones during camping trips or road trips. 47 Mando Whole Body Deodorant 3-Pack. This 3-pack of Mando Whole Body Deodorant is currently on clearance for $24.97 instead of nearly $40 at regular retail stores. Mando is basically the male-focused sister brand to Loom. The cream/lotion texture feels a little different compared to traditional deodorant sticks. 48 Nexus Dry Shampoo 9 ounces. Instead of the usual price around $35 at other stores, the 9-ounce bottle of Nexus Dry Shampoo is currently down to $15.97 at Costco. The bottle size is noticeably larger than the mini versions typically sold at drugstores. This product helps hair look less oily between wash days, and the spray doesn't leave behind an obvious white residue like some cheaper dry shampoos. 49 Infinity Pro by Conair Hair Dryer. The Infinity Pro Hair Dryer is currently in the clearance section priced at $49.97. The body design is fairly compact, doesn't feel too heavy to hold, and comes with multiple styling attachments. The airflow is strong and dries hair fairly quickly for everyday use. With this type of design, it's also much easier to pack into luggage compared to larger salon-style dryers. 50 Outdoor Melamine Dinnerware Set. This outdoor melamine dinnerware set is currently down to $14.97 and includes more pieces inside than the box first suggests. The melamine material feels lightweight, resists breaking, and works especially well for picnics, backyard BBQs, or summer pool parties. The patterns and colors lean heavily into that outdoor resort style, making the table setup look much brighter and more coordinated than regular plastic dishes. 51 KitchenAid Utensil Set. Costco is currently clearing out this KitchenAid utensil set for $12.97, including several basic kitchen tools for everyday cooking. The handles feel thick, the color finish looks very nice, and the silicone holds heat much better than many cheaper supermarket sets. 52 Mikasa Picture Frame Set. This 5-piece Mikasa picture frame set is currently sitting in the warehouse clearance section for $12.97. Inside are multiple frame sizes for mixing family photos, travel pictures, or creating a small gallery wall at home. The frame finish looks clean and easy to match with different decor styles, especially for graduation season or quick gift ideas. 53 Hyaluronic Acid Serum. The 2-pack hyaluronic acid serum set is currently down to $16.97 at Costco. The texture is lightweight and absorbs fairly quickly, focusing more on hydration than stronger treatment effects. HA serums like this are commonly used together with retinol or before makeup to help skin look more hydrated and less cakey. 54 Battery Backup Light Bulbs. The fact that these bulbs still work during power outages is exactly why many people stop to check them out at Costco. Each bulb includes a built-in battery, so it can still function temporarily as an emergency light during blackouts. The 6-pack is currently marked down from nearly $19 to just $9.97, and also includes small hooks for carrying or hanging them in garages, closets, or camping gear areas. 55 Homedix Massage Set. The Homedix massage seat is currently in the clearance section with a full setup, including back cushioning, heat vibration, and additional accessories. The design sits directly on sofas or office chairs instead of being a bulky massage chair. The heat mode especially makes the back feel noticeably more comfortable during long sitting sessions or extended work hours. 56. Tramontina Teak Wood Cutting Board Set. The teak wood grain on this Tramontina cutting board set looks much nicer and thicker than many standard boards sold at supermarkets. The two-piece set is currently down to $19.97 and includes juice grooves around the edges to help prevent liquids from spilling onto countertops while cutting meat or fruit. 57. Tramontina Nonstick Grill Pan. The surface already includes raised grill lines that show up clearly when cooking steak or chicken breast on gas or induction stoves. This Tramontina grill pan is currently marked down exactly 50% to $14.97 and uses a ceramic nonstick coating without PFOA. 58. Sealy Queen Airbed. For homes that occasionally have overnight guests, airbeds like this are very convenient because you just plug them in and the mattress fully inflates within minutes. The Sealy Queen model is currently down to $29.97 and features a soft flock top with a much roomier queen-size design compared to smaller, standard air mattresses. 59. Elo Triton 4-pack glass water bottles. This 4-pack of Elo Triton water bottles is currently marked down to $12.97 and features glass bodies wrapped in colorful silicone sleeves. The silicone layer gives a more secure grip and helps reduce impacts when carrying the bottle in bags or car cup holders. 60. NutriBullet Super Blast Nut Milk Maker. You simply add nuts and water, press a button, and the machine blends and cooks everything in one cycle. The NutriBullet Super Blast is currently discounted an extra $40 down to $59.97 and includes built-in blades and a heating plate inside. It can make hot nut milk, creamy soups, or cold smoothies without needing separate cookware. 61. Shark Wand Vac Sleek Hand Vacuum. The Shark Wand Vac has a very slim design that almost looks like a compact stick vacuum, making it flexible for cleaning dining tables, sofas, or car interiors. Originally close to $130, it's currently on clearance for $79.97 and comes with a self-standing charging dock that looks very clean inside the house. The vacuum feels lightweight but has stronger suction than expected, especially for snack crumbs, hair, or fine dust inside small crevices. This clearance event clearly isn't just about a few random markdowns. Costco is aggressively discounting a large number of high-value products all at once. And one very useful tip is that if you visit your local warehouse and don't see an item on the shelves, try bringing a photo or the product name to customer service. Sometimes the item is still sitting in the back stockroom or available at a nearby warehouse in your area. Do you already have your Costco clearance shopping list ready? A lot of people think they're buying healthy snacks at Costco, but in reality, they're eating foods that make them feel hungry faster, crave more, and struggle to lose weight. The important thing is that not every snack that looks healthy is actually good for your body. And in this video, there are some very affordable snacks that can help control cravings much better while saving you far more money compared to the choices most people keep buying out of habit. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky. A lot of beef jerky on the market sounds like a healthy high-protein snack. But once you flip the bag over, the sugar content can sometimes be almost as high as a sweet snack bar. Righteous Felon Craft. Jerky takes a completely different approach by keeping that rich, authentic dried meat flavor instead of relying too heavily on sugar and artificial seasonings to make it taste good. From the very first bite, most people immediately notice that the texture is much softer compared to the typical mass-produced jerky that tends to be overly tough and dry at convenience stores. Costco usually sells it in multi-packs or large combo bags, so the cost per serving ends up being significantly cheaper than buying individual packs elsewhere. It's especially convenient for people who like to keep snacks on hand for work, the gym, or long road trips. One thing people really appreciate about this brand is that the ingredients feel much more like real food compared to many mainstream jerky brands. It uses whole black pepper and natural brown sugar and avoids relying too heavily on artificial flavor enhancers like MSG. Because of that, the smoky and savory flavor tastes more authentic instead of hitting your tongue with an overpowering sweetness right away. 2. Kirkland Seaweed Snacks. When salty cravings hit at night, a lot of people end up opening a bag of chips and accidentally finishing the whole thing without even noticing. Kirkland seaweed. Snacks satisfy that exact kind of craving in a way that feels much lighter. The thin, crispy texture and natural salty flavor still make them really satisfying to snack on, but the calorie count is much lower than traditional fried snacks, so you don't end up feeling overly full or guilty afterward. Costco sells them in large boxes with around 10 to 12 packs, which works out to roughly 40% cheaper than buying them individually at places like Target. For people who snack every day, that pricing is much easier to maintain long-term compared to the smaller seaweed snack packs sold separately at regular supermarkets. After eating seaweed snacks regularly for a while, quite a few people start noticing that traditional chips suddenly feel way too greasy and heavy. The only small warning is that these are surprisingly easy to go through because once you start eating them while watching a movie, it's very easy to finish several packs without realizing it. 3. Perfect bars. A lot of protein bars on the market feel like you're eating a dense compressed block of protein powder with a very obvious chalky aftertaste. Perfect bars go in a completely different direction and feel more like a chilled dessert than a clean eating food you force yourself to eat. The rich, creamy peanut butter texture feels surprisingly similar to chilled cookie dough, which is why many people keep these stocked in the fridge whenever late-night sweet cravings hit. A lot of people are surprised that a protein bar with such a rich peanut butter flavor also contains more than 20 organic superfoods like kale, spinach, and carrots. Costco usually sells large variety packs at nearly 45% cheaper than buying individual bars at regular grocery stores. Since these bars need to stay refrigerated, prices outside Costco are often noticeably higher. That said, these bars are also fairly calorie-dense, so even one bar can keep you full for quite a while. It's worth paying a little attention because this is exactly the kind of snack where just half another bar can quietly turn into a lot more calories than expected. 4. Kirkland Greek yogurt. There's a reason so many smart Costco shoppers always keep at least one container of Kirkland Greek yogurt in the fridge. It's basically an all-purpose staple for almost any healthy eating plan while still staying budget-friendly. Unlike many supermarket yogurts that quickly separate or lose flavor just a few days after opening, this Greek yogurt stays thick, creamy, and naturally rich for weeks in the fridge thanks to the extra straining process. The biggest value is the very high protein content while still costing much less than Chobani or many other well-known healthy brands. A lot of people use it instead of sour cream or mayonnaise for salad dressings, taco bowls, or sandwiches to cut a huge amount of calories and reduce spending on richer sauces. Even in baking or smoothies, it still gives a very creamy texture without needing expensive heavy cream. If people could only keep one item in the fridge for weekly meal prep, many would choose this Greek yogurt first. 5. Kirkland Signature Organic Dried Mangoes. If you have a sweet tooth but want to avoid gummy candies loaded with artificial coloring and processed sugar, Kirkland's Organic Dried Mango is almost the perfect solution. Unlike many dried fruit snacks at supermarkets that are coated with extra sugar to make them sweeter and extend shelf life, this version has no added sugar, so you actually taste the light tartness and natural sweetness of real ripe mango instead of that overly sharp candy-like sweetness. Dried mango also contains a good amount of natural fiber and vitamin C, helping with digestion while keeping you full longer than most sweet snacks. The only small warning is that this is exactly the kind of snack where you casually keep eating and suddenly realize half the bag is gone because the mango flavor is seriously addictive. 6. Pumpkin seeds. One hidden gem sitting quietly in Costco's nut section, but constantly repurchased by clean-eating shoppers, is this bag of sprouted pumpkin seeds. The packaging looks pretty simple, but the word sprouted alone usually pushes the price of similar products much higher at health food stores. Meanwhile, Costco still sells a large 1.5 to 2 pound bag at a very reasonable price, so the cost per serving ends up much lower than many small healthy snack packs at supermarkets. The difference comes from the sprouting process, which helps reduce the natural phytic acid in the seeds, so after eating them, your stomach tends to feel lighter and easier to digest compared to many roasted mixed nuts that can feel heavy or bloating. That's also why pumpkin seeds often appear in diets focused on better sleep or muscle recovery because of their high magnesium content. For people who deal with muscle cramps after workouts or late-night snack cravings but don't want sugary foods, these give that feeling of light snacking while still staying full very well. 7. Chomps Meat Sticks. There are moments when hunger hits very fast, especially in the middle of work or during long drives. And that's usually when people grab sugary snacks that only make them hungry again soon after. Chomps Meat. Sticks are popular because they solve that exact problem in a very simple way. Compact and easy to carry but packed with enough protein to noticeably reduce random cravings much better than many packaged snacks. More importantly, these sticks contain zero sugar so the flavor tastes richer and more savory instead of having that overly sweet taste common in many protein snacks at supermarkets. Costco always sells them in large boxes, bringing the cost down to around $1.50 per stick, while buying them individually at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods is often nearly double the price. The fact that they're also free from gluten, dairy, and soy makes them fit easily into many eating plans without needing to stress over ingredient labels every time you buy snacks. 8. Cheese Sticks. If your daily schedule is so busy that you just want to open the fridge, grab something quickly, and head out the door, cheese sticks are one of those snacks that almost always work. This is one of the simplest looking snacks at Costco, but it constantly shows up in lunch bags, gym backpacks, or office fridges, simply because it's so convenient and requires zero prep. Costco usually sells huge packs with 48 to 60 sticks for under $15. So each serving only costs a few cents while still giving enough protein and fat to calm hunger much faster than cookies or carb-heavy snacks. Just keeping a few in the fridge basically guarantees you always have a quick and easy option, instead of running out to buy random snacks whenever hunger hits. 9. Brazil Nuts. Brazil nuts are one of the rarest nuts in the healthy snack world because they can't really be mass-produced on a large industrial scale. Most are naturally harvested from the Amazon rainforest, which is why prices outside Costco are usually pretty high. On top of that, many places sell older nuts that can taste oily or lose their natural richness. Costco moves inventory quickly, so the bags are usually fresher, with larger nuts and a much richer flavor compared to many standard packaged versions. What makes Brazil nuts famous is their extremely high selenium content, which supports thyroid health and metabolism. Just 1 or 2 nuts a day already provide the amount of selenium many people need. That's also why even a smaller bag tends to last a very long time, because this isn't the kind of snack people casually eat by the handful like almonds or cashews. 10. Guacamole mini packs. One very common kitchen disappointment is making fresh guacamole, then opening the fridge a few hours later only to find it already turning brown. On top of that, avocado prices fluctuate heavily by season, so making it yourself isn't always as affordable as people expect. That's exactly why Costco's guacamole mini packs are seen by many as a much more convenient option for quick snacks or short-term meal prep. One important detail is that Costco uses HPP high-pressure processing to help preserve the avocado's green color and fresh taste without relying heavily on preservatives. Since the packs are already portioned individually, controlling serving sizes also becomes much easier. This is especially helpful for people following low-carb diets or using GLP-1, because the healthy fats from avocado usually help keep fullness more stable for longer periods. Like the video if this surprised you. 11. Bell pepper crisps. A lot of people want to quit chips but still can't give up that need something crunchy to snack on feeling while watching movies or working late at night. And that's exactly where bell pepper crisps become dangerous in a surprisingly good way. At first glance, they just look like dried bell peppers, but the crunch feels surprisingly close to real chips, which is why many low-carb and clean-eating shoppers use them as a replacement for oily, carb-heavy snacks. Because freeze-dried snacks require a huge amount of fresh vegetables to make one lightweight bag, products like this at Target or health food stores are usually pretty expensive. Costco sells a much larger bag, making the price almost 50% cheaper by actual weight. A lot of people first pick up the bag thinking it feels too light, then later realize there's actually far more inside than expected. The ingredient list is also very clean, focusing mostly on real vegetables instead of heavy seasoning powders or frying oils. After eating them, it feels more like you had a fun snack instead of completely ruining your diet with greasy chips. 12. Organ protein drink. If you've ever had protein shakes that taste more and more like powdered water the longer you drink them, Orgain is usually the brand that changes people's minds pretty quickly. It's one of the best-selling protein drinks at Costco whenever instant coupons appear, to the point where shopping carts noticeably fill up once the price drops. The reason is that Orgain's formula is considered much cleaner than many mainstream protein shakes, especially now that more people pay attention to ingredient lists instead of only checking the protein number on the front of the box. Each bottle not only provides a solid amount of protein for post-workout recovery or quick meal replacement, but also includes around 5 grams of soluble fiber to help fullness last much longer. That's why many people use Orgain as an emergency anti-hunger meal during busy days instead of grabbing random sugary snacks. Costco usually sells them in 18-pack cases, making each bottle noticeably cheaper than buying them individually at Target or Whole Foods, especially during instant coupon promotions where savings can reach another 20 to 25%. 13. C8 grain-free tortilla chips. C8 tortilla chips became popular because they still keep that crispy texture of traditional chips while using much cleaner ingredients than many common supermarket snack brands. Costco usually sells large bags at a noticeably better value compared to the smaller packs at Target or Whole Foods, especially since C8 is already considered a premium and fairly expensive brand when purchased individually. The chips are made with cassava and avocado oil, so after eating them, you don't get that overly heavy or greasy feeling common with regular tortilla chips. Many people like pairing them with guacamole mini packs or salsa for that movie snack feeling, while still having much better control over ingredients. 14. Kirkland frozen berries. There's one item at Costco that many longtime shoppers see as a quiet money-saving staple in the freezer, and that's the giant bag of Kirkland frozen berries. Anyone who has bought fresh berries a few times already knows the feeling of seeing them look perfect one day, then opening the container a few days later only to find them soft or starting to mold surprisingly fast. Frozen berries basically solve that entire problem. Kirkland uses flash freezing technology right at the farm when the fruit reaches peak ripeness, helping preserve almost all of the color, natural sweetness, and antioxidants instead of letting the fruit slowly lose quality during long transportation times. Costco usually sells large 3 to 4 pound bags, so by actual weight the price ends up much cheaper than fresh berries, especially for blueberries, raspberries, or mixed berries that are usually very expensive fresh. 15. Inked sourdough bread. Not every type of bread leaves people hungry again shortly after eating. And that's exactly why sourdough has become much more popular in realistic, clean-eating routines. Inked sourdough. Bread at Costco stands out because of its longer natural fermentation process compared to regular industrial bread, which changes the way the starch is processed before baking. That's also why sourdough is often considered less likely to cause major insulin spikes than regular bread, especially when paired with protein or healthy fats. For people who enjoy sandwiches, avocado toast, or eggs in the morning but still want better carb control, this bread is often seen as a much easier option compared to common soft, sweet breads. One very practical advantage is that it freezes extremely well. Many people slice it ahead of time and freeze part of the loaf, then simply pop it into the toaster a few minutes later, and the crust becomes crispy again, while the inside still keeps that chewy sourdough texture. 16. DJ&A Shiitake Mushroom Crisps. If you're getting tired of greasy potato chips but still can't let go of that crunchy snack feeling, DJ&A Shiitake Mushroom Crisps are exactly the kind of snack that makes people get hooked again in a healthier way. At first glance, they just look like dried shiitake mushrooms, but the crunch feels surprisingly similar to real chips, while the ingredients are much cleaner than most processed supermarket snacks. DJ&A doesn't deep fry the mushrooms traditionally, but instead uses modern drying technology to preserve the texture and natural umami flavor of shiitake mushrooms. Many stores already charge around $7 to $8 for smaller bags, while Costco usually sells a double-sized bag at a much better value based on actual weight. The calorie count is also much lower than many fried snacks, while still keeping the mushroom's natural fiber content. After eating them, your stomach usually feels noticeably lighter compared to regular chips, which is why many people start using mushroom crisps as a way to gradually cut back on fried snacks each week. 17. Walnuts. If there's one Costco item that feels more and more like a smart health investment over time while still saving money, Walnuts are almost always near the top of the list. The large 3-pound Kirkland bag is usually priced about the same or only slightly higher than many 1-pound bags at regular supermarkets. So, for people who eat nuts daily, the savings become very noticeable after a few months. That's also why many shoppers eventually switch completely to buying bulk nuts at Costco instead of constantly purchasing smaller bags elsewhere. Kirkland uses US number 1 grade walnuts with mostly large walnut halves and a fairly low amount of broken pieces, so the nuts look fresher and more consistent compared to cheaper brands. This matters because heavily broken nuts tend to oxidize faster and develop bitter or stale oil flavors over time. Walnuts are also well known for their high plant-based omega-3 content, which is why they often appear in diets focused on heart health, brain function, and keeping hunger under control longer. 18. Almond butter. While many almond butter jars at supermarkets cost around $12 to $15 for fairly small sizes, Costco sells a large jar for under $10 with an extremely simple ingredient list that's basically just pure ground almonds without added sugar or random oils. That's why many people consider it one of the truly worthwhile healthy pantry staples at Costco. After eating it, the fullness tends to stay very steady because of the high natural healthy fat content, without the sugar crash that often comes with peanut butter mixed with syrup or added sugar. Many people enjoy spreading almond butter on sourdough toast, pairing it with apples, or adding it to smoothies for extra richness and longer-lasting fullness. One small thing to remember is that the natural oils separate over time, so it usually needs a quick stir before eating to bring back the smooth texture. 19. Unreal coconut bars. If there's one cheat snack that surprises people because it tastes like real candy but contains far less sugar, Unreal coconut bars are almost always near the top of the list. Many people jokingly call them the healthy version of a Mounds bar because they still have a dark chocolate coating with rich coconut filling inside. But each piece contains only around 3 grams of sugar, far lower than most chocolate candies sold at supermarkets. Costco sells them in large boxes with individually wrapped pieces, making them convenient to carry while also helping portion control much better than opening one giant bag and continuously snacking. Buying smaller packs at Target or health food stores is usually noticeably more expensive by actual quantity. A lot of people like keeping a few bars in their bags or work desks as a backup plan whenever afternoon sugar cravings hit. 20. High-protein dessert bowl. A lot of people think that if you want an acai bowl or yogurt bowl that actually looks good, you have to go to a cafe and pay $12 to $15 for a tiny serving loaded with granola and syrup. But with just a few Costco items, you can make a high-protein dessert bowl at home for under about $2 per bowl while getting far more protein and fullness than many store-bought bowls. All you need is Kirkland Greek yogurt as the base. Then add frozen berries and chop a few Unreal coconut bars on top. The result feels much more like a real chilled dessert instead of diet food. The frozen berries add natural sweetness and tartness without needing much syrup, while the coconut chocolate pieces make it feel similar to a parfait or acai bowl from a cafe. This combo helps handle late-night sweet cravings surprisingly well, while still keeping protein high thanks to the Greek yogurt. A lot of people first make it just for fun, but after a few tries they start keeping frozen berries and Greek yogurt stocked in the fridge almost every week. A lot of foods at Costco look very healthy, but not every item actually helps you stay full longer or control cravings better. Just changing a few choices in your fridge can save a noticeable amount of snack money every month, while avoiding that constant dieting but always hungry feeling. And sometimes, the foods that ruin healthy eating plans the fastest are actually the ones marketed as healthy the most. Which snack in this video surprised you the most? The Costco Deli section has over 24 items, but only a few are actually worth your money. The rest are traps. Some items look beautiful through the glass display case but will leave you filled with regret once you get them home. On the flip side, there are items that, if you knew their price compared to a restaurant, would make you wonder why you didn't buy them sooner. Today, I'm going to share the top items worth buying, as well as the ones you need to stay far away from. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One chicken pot pie. We're talking nearly 6 pounds of food in one tray for just $20. You bring it home, pop it in the oven for about an hour, and when you open that oven door, your entire kitchen is filled with a rich, buttery aroma from corner to corner. The top crust bakes up golden brown, thick, and flaky, giving you a distinct, satisfying crunch when you cut into it. Inside is a velvety, creamy filling loaded with shredded chicken, peas, and carrots. The filling-to-crust ratio is incredibly generous. This isn't one of those pies that's all dough with nothing inside when you cut it open. To give you some numbers for comparison, a single-serve personal pot pie at Panera Bread or any decent bakery already runs you $12 to $15, and it's just enough to fill up one person. This Costco tray easily feeds 4 to 5 people, which breaks down to less than $4 per serving. You are paying less than the price of fast food for a proper, sit-down family dinner. This item isn't anything fancy or complicated. It's just good comfort food, warm, cozy, and familiar, like something your grandma would make on a winter day.